Hello, everybody. This is your host, Paul Gaither. This is Madden NFL 2004. And we're going to have Chargers, Falcons. Let's do this thing. Asuka in the chat. Let's go.
From the Georgia Dome here in Atlanta comes NFL
Headphones on.
Football. Thanks for joining us. These two teams are ready to go, and it should be a great one as the Chargers get set to take on the Falcons. Welcome to the game. Al Michaels and John Madden here, broadcasting live. So pull up a chair and relax because this is going to be a good one.
You talk about a quarterback who can lead his team to victory. This guy has all the tools you look for. Great arm, pocket presence, and the ability to hit a receiver anywhere on the field. There's not too many like this guy. And we could see him put up big numbers in this one.
Fearless Price makes a great target for him every game. I think most people in the league like to think that he's deceptively fast. That allows him to sneak past the defense for big gains. Now, whether or not he'll be able to against this defense is something we'll be paying a lot of attention to.
And you can tell that defense is fired up and ready to go. I don't think we should keep him waiting any longer.
A much anticipated game ready to begin as we're lined up for the kickoff.
Madden 04 looks so beautiful, doesn't it? I'm not completely giving up on Madden 03, but I think as of the previous stream, we've tried to squeeze as much blood out of that stone for CPU versus CPU simulation. I don't know if we have much more room out of that.
From the 4. The offense is heading out onto the field for their first drive of the game. Our EA Sports Coach Close-Up features two very unique coaches. Falcons head coach Dan Reeves likes to run a fast-paced offense with constant formation changes in motion to keep the defense guessing. The option to run from the quarterback position gives the Falcons offense even more flexibility and unpredictability.
How great is that intro right there by Al Michaels? Like, the game has started and we're actually talking about like the coordinator and everything.
Into the open field. He's finally brought down at the 49-yard line. Up the middle.
How great is that presentation right there?
He was in and out of the hole so quickly, he was just a blur as he went through.
Like the bit about helping the offensive lineman up off the ground. The camera angles are so sharp.
Chargers head coach
and now, here we go. Talking about Marty Schottenheimer.
Football brings that same mentality and intensity to the NFL. Success follows him wherever he goes, and currently he is the second winningest active coach in the NFL. To the air on first.
Michael Vick actually runs on his first drop back. Now that might be a design draw.
And what he did there was try and sell the pass and then get in behind his blocker. And from there, he did a good job of getting what he did.
So that might have been a design call rather than him actually taking off.
So what do you think will make the difference in this one?
Now he's asking him questions.
I'm guessing this game is going to come down to turnovers, drive-killing penalties, key plays on special teams, things like that.
Nowhere to go that time. The defensive line gets very good penetration.
This line's very aggressive.
Then he's sitting on that line, waiting for the other one to fire off.
A lot of teams think that the best way to move the ball on the ground against them is to run it right at them. Try and wear them out. Looks like they might be trying to do that same kind of thing.
Keeps from having dead air, at least early in the game.
Pressure goes with a short pass to the right side. Great throw.
Quarterback throws to the flat. I like that improvement. And now comes the dead air, right? There's no comment about failing to convert on third down or anything like that. We had a lot of conversation early on. It's not that I'm complaining now, but we definitely had a lot of talking in the early moments. And now it's just decided to go completely silent. That's interesting.
Back to the field.
Yeah, rip John Madden. Rip Pat Summerall from Madden 2002 and previously.
Here's the punt. He signals for a fair catch.
Oh, and the special teams! Let's go! And they're talking about it.
Getting there to keep it out of the end zone and set his defense up with great.
Let's go! Man, I've been playing so much 02 and 03. Man, fuck 04. Damn. I mean, it's like not new. Like, we all know it's in the game, but goddamn. Playing so much 02 and 03. Like, this didn't exist. Like, come on, the first game, like, on my channel, if you want to call it that, yeah, I had the old Madden 04 tournament. But goddamn, man. You know how... Damn. Fuck.
So let's pick up the action.
Yeah, exactly, Asuka. Like, I'm kind of surprised we didn't get that audio clip whenever we actually lost a few yards on that play.
Throwing. No catch. He was out of bounds.
As a quarterback, you're supposed to put the ball where only the receiver can get it. I think somebody should have told him that he also needs to keep it in bounds.
Oh, that's such a great line. He also needs to keep it in bounds. Jesus. This is so good. I'm sure the lines will get old later, but damn.
The carry breaks free.
It's not just the same old tired crap. And let's go LT! Maybe I put the running back ability too high, but there's LT. He's spun, he's stiff armed, and he LT'd this thing. Let's go.
Puts on a heck of a move, and it's off to the races. They didn't have an angle on him.
He had 29. He's just juked out of his shoes, and the game made sure to keep the camera with 29 just getting dogged. It would have been nice to see the reverse angle, actually see him with his visor and running, but seeing the name on the back of the helmet is obviously nice as well. And Lorenzo Neal just doing Lorenzo Neal things. Gadoosh. Well, one of the things that I was concerned about was the effectiveness of running the football from Madden 2003, and we saw a big fullback run, and then we saw this guy get just completely juked out, and Hall is not going to tackle Tomlinson, and he's too fast for everyone else. So once you get him to the edge, you made 2 players miss. Who else is going to tackle this guy? Probably need to change him to a dark visor. I think he has clear visor right now. My goodness. Maybe I need to dial back the running back ability just to a flat 10. Because I think this is the game where they get the speed boost, but they also like execute their moves and everything more too. I don't think they get the speed boost in Madden 02, 3, and I'm assuming not in 1, but I don't have 1. 1 wasn't released on the Xbox.
The team's happy after that one. They're probably telling their defense to get them the ball back so they can go scoring in.
Well, no, LT is just that good. I agree, Asuka, especially the Madden 04 version versus the 02 and the 03 version where he's like a rookie and then a second-year pro. But I'm talking about like the fullback dive earlier. Like the fullback was like clowning people, if you remember the very first play. Because I think I have it set it to 18 out of 20 running back ability. And it's always a good thing if I can just dial it back and not have to have it that high to get that performance, right?
So they have 1st and 10 here.
So are we going to see Vic run with the football on a not designed quarterback run? Because I know we do in 05. I'm pretty sure it's 05 we see it. But I think this game he doesn't run unless it's designed. And remember, they got work done. Like, see how they do. This is going to be a good running back battle. And Breeze versus Vic. That's why I thought this would be a fun game. 3-4 defense, 4-3 defense. 3-4 and 4-3 defense each.
Drops back. Throwing short to his left. And he hits his target. The receiver did a good job bringing that pass in.
Looks like someone might have blown their coverage up.
Okay, we've already heard that audio before. So the other thing this game has is the natural drop back animations. They dip the shoulders too much. Like real quarterbacks say it's like way over exaggerated. Right? You want to keep your shoulders relatively level, and this game like has like a super dip. Like where you are versus where he dips and then pops back up. Like it's over exaggerated. Like real quarterbacks have talked about like that's a problem with the Madden 04, I think Madden 05 style. It's really exaggerated on the screen, but like it's not the end of the world to me. I think it's really nice that they actually have proper footwork, and you as a human don't have to go through the back pedal yourself. You can actually operate correctly. This is not a very good football play here if you're having the running back and the tight end going to the exact same spot. But whatever.
And welcome back. 7 yards to go.
So much fun. Gun split backs, and it looks like another QB draw, not him trying to run it. Well, I mean, I'm assuming Vic is also affected by the running back ability. I think everyone's affected by running back ability once you have the ball in your hands, be that a kick returner, a wide receiver catching it, anyone. It's not literally the halfback gets an ability. I think it's a ball carrier ability. They just call it HB ability.
Here's the kick. Fair catch called for. Their last drive resulting in a touchdown, mainly because of their running game. Let's see if that's their focal point once again here. Tomlinson in the backfield. Hands it off to the back, holds it. And with that last carry, over 100 yards for the day. The quarterback lines up with two backs behind him. Pressure coming, throwing. Nice. What a collision. You saw the whole field, was able to stand back there and find the open man.
Great replay. Nice zoom in.
It takes a lot of poise to get the ball out of there with any accuracy.
Really like the player models here. We can see here a further drop back, right? Because again, he finishes, and then on the back foot, he's ready to throw. Gets it off. Nice and clean. Good catch. Broken tackle. I mean, the fact that Brooking isn't even trying to go for the tackle, I think it's because Tomlinson's like caught in an animation. But regardless of what it may be, he does eventually get him. So, I've talked to Denny about this before, Asuka, but anyone watching this at all, I feel this is the end of this era of player models. I feel the Madden 2001, 2, 3, and 4 have this kind of art style. And then we see a change in art style with Madden 05. The way the shoulder pads are, the legs are, like the body models, the textures, whatever you want to call it. There's not like a significant, massive change or whatever from 05 to 08, 09, whatever that era is. But there's something about it that we're going to see that I feel this is like the end of that art era, if that makes any sense. And then we see a new art era with Madden 05 and beyond that they start refining like all the way into 08, and then it's just like super copy and paste at that point. I think even 08's a copy and paste, but I think 07 and 08 have some changes. I know for a fact 08 like just give away, like not giving a shit about doing the body size, like the overall muscle, all that stuff. Like they just had like everyone like super default and only a few players with proper hairstyles. I mean, yeah, we're playing Barbie dress up, but 08 definitely had like air quote everyone is just close crop. Like they definitely didn't give a fuck. Like you have to go in, you have to customize a lot of players in 08. But be that as it may, this is like the pinnacle of that 01, 02, 03, 04 player model art style.
And we go back to the game.
Yeah, they're good too.
So
They're absolutely good. I like them. I feel that, I guess to finish that point is like, I feel what we see from 01 to 04 is a specific art direction, style, whatever. And I'm not calling the other ones bad. I'm just saying like you can see a stark change in how they look. Like, oh, what's the difference with 01 and 02? Well, they added more accurate helmet, like, models, like the shut and all that. And they, like, added the more face mask. And literally on the back of the cover of 02, they talk about, like, more accurate equipment and all that stuff. And they, like, tune some things up. And then 3 looks more, like, crisp. I don't know about polygons. I don't know, whatever. But, like, 3 looks more in tune, and maybe the skeleton models are better. I don't know how exactly to play it where they don't look like as plasticky and Gumby or whatever. But 04 really feels like everyone's just got more animations, more fluidity in their movements with the model. I mean, maybe that's just animation based on the model itself, but just there's something about it. Like even here, like with his arms and everything, like it kind of looks like the sleeve is part of his arm. It's just a texture that changes skin color versus jersey color, if that makes any sense. And I'm not complaining about it. There's just an overall artistic vibe to the player models here, right? That changes. The way the textures of the jerseys lay on the players and everything I like them both, but they're significantly and noticeably different.
We'll go back to the play on the field.
Yeah, they have that blend of art and fantasy. Exactly.
Tosses it out to the
Like,
left.
we know it's a video game, and we acknowledge it's a video game, and it's got that art to it, but trying to bring a level of realism in the faces
Plays.
and in their equipment and everything. Yeah, it's kind of got an anime cartoon feel, but not like in a cel-shaded Nintendo way. I like it. It has a charm to it.
Dropping back. He goes to the left side. Runs over the tackle.
Let's
The
go.
sticks with that completion.
I'll tell you, he put that one right on the money. They're just out there playing a little pitch and catch.
See, you can see it in the faces too, right? Like, we just saw it in that, like, I don't even know if he has, like, his real face or he's just Mr. Generic Face, because he looks like Mr. Generic Face out there, right? You see the difference between a generic face-looking guy and, like, a Jerry Rice or whatever that looks like he has, like, a face scan, right? Like, he's got a clay face, and I don't mean, like, in an insulting way or, like, a, like, Elder Scrolls Oblivion clay face or whatever. But you can definitely see the difference with, let's see if like we can get like Keith Brooking or whatever. I'm sure like there's like more dimension there. Yeah, like you can see like it's sculpted to be like Keith Brooking. And the same thing, I think Breeze as a starting quarterback, while he doesn't have his birthmark, is trying to sculpt to look like Drew Brees. Where generic players literally look like generic clay sculptures, right? When you see certain guys, you know who they're supposed to be. Does that make sense? Let's look at Lorenzo Neal if we can. Yeah, like, established, like, top players in the league have different degrees of looking who they're supposed to look like.
Let's get back to the play on the field.
And then Patrick says, yay 2004. Suka says he might be a rookie, though. Exactly. And then Patrick says you got to find a way to play with Vic at some point. I mean, I can play with him at any point, right? Oh, it's good times.
Away, but he's stopped for a loss.
The offensive line just didn't get any push.
So let me know,
Do a better job
Patrick.
knocking those guys off the
One of the
line.
things that's a lot of fun is actually going in and playing 0-2 with Vic, playing 0-3 with Vic, playing 0-4 with Vic, like playing and feeling the way that the players feel in the game. And I can do that. It was Retro Rewind Sports who said that my Saturday morning practice video might be one of my best videos I've ever put on. It's one of the videos that tried to inspire me to go live instead of recording and then posting it. And it said absolutely just for fun. Yeah, it's something that I kind of wanted to do with the 03 franchise. Like, have CPU versus CPU, and then I control, like, the Vic Falcons. Right?
And he's tackled at the 39-yard line. A couple, maybe 3 yards on that run.
Love the crowd. But we also heard a good crowd in 03. I'm kind of just wanting to notice the things that are just so much better in this game. Yeah, the opening drives for both teams had a lot better commentary, and then it's starting to become dead air again. But the commentary they had was very lively.
Under pressure, gets the pass.
And there's a pick.
Going the other way. Here we go. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Atlanta. The defender is there to make the play.
He just stepped in front of that one. He saw his opportunity, and boom, he took it.
How much is that accuracy? How much is that decision? Looks like cover 0, and we're just kind of not putting the ball in the best spot up and over the defender, who's also taking advantage of it, right?
Back to the field.
All right, so the Chargers have scored 2 touchdowns, one for their own team and then one for the other.
Feely comes in to attempt the point after. And it's on its way, and the extra point is good.
Can I go to highlights? No, there's no highlights. So we talk about the jump. We actually can see jump ratings. And then we can actually see how far their like feet are actually off the ground. It's interesting. Yeah. In the comments, I see it. Man, Patrick, did you see the punt where the Falcons punt team like actually kept it from going in the end zone? Like, my goodness, that was like hotness.
Out onto the field. Not a real deep kick. Should be returned from the 13. Give the defense a lot of credit on that last possession as they were able to force the interception. Let's see what happens this time.
This game was so special.
1st and 10. Ball on their own 27.
With all the things that they gave the offense, you knew before 5 was even released that they had to do the same to support defense.
Looking for room. Can't bring him down.
Who needs to pass when you have a running game like this?
And something that we don't get to see right now in this presentation is the angles and the cuts in the play calling menu. Because this is just a spectator mode camera.
1 yard gain by the running back.
The play calling window and experience is also really nice. I think they start showing you replays or something, or some of these good angles while you're in the play call menu. And it's one of the things they put on the back of the box is their presentation. Love it. Love it, Tomlinson. Don't bring him down. And then, what a great shoulder tackle. I'm not a tackle with your shoulder, but like grabbing and pulling him down.
This is what you're talking about. You know, this is a kind of block.
Boom! I love the fact that the game knows that happened and then like focuses on it. Exactly, Patrick.
They'll go from the I formation.
Playing so much 02 and 03 on my channel really just helps appreciate 04's improvements while they were still making a competitive franchise, right?
The defense did a good job anticipating the snap count.
Yes,
Aggressive
Asuka.
defense like this, a hard count could be an effective way to keep them off balance while trying to draw them off sides.
2nd and long. Tomlinson carries the ball for 3, maybe 4 yards.
All right, the crowd's into it.
The defense lines up in the nickel. Breeze gets set.
Green right. Pitch. Lorenzo Neal blocking, but not good enough. Breaks the tackle. Still not enough.
Lost about 2 yards.
All right, outrunning his blocker. Still sheds it, though. But just really outrunning the blocking. You can't really do anything about that. As a human, I would not be using sprint. And I would try to maybe, like, not lose yards, but, like, run, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just vertically, not trying to get upfield, like, positive yardage here. You see where Tomlinson catches it, and he's getting closer and closer to that yard line. If you run without pressing sprint and without trying to gain a bunch of ground to let the defenders over pursue and let your blockers get out there, wall it off, and then cut hard upfield, north and south, through this wall that's like being developed. That's what you would like to see out of that play.
And we're back.
Yeah, wider, not deeper. Thank you. I can't English right now.
Then it is back to punt. Russell sets up, waiting for the punt. Here's the punt. Fair catch.
Yeah, lay off the sprint so you're just using your natural speed. And let the blockers and the defense set up before you then cut north and south. And then hit sprint as a user if you want. but explode and get that
Ball on
lane.
their own 20.
All right, Mike. I got this full house formation, huh?
Going to the air on first down.
This full house draw.
Late handoff. Picks up maybe 3 on that carry.
So what sucks is this team should be the team that's like applying the zone running scheme with work done. And none of the PS2 era Madden games can do a zone run scheme. They're all power man blocking. It's fine that they have power man blocking, but you can't accurately represent the Broncos and the Falcons schemes. And the reason that they have Warwick done, because he's not a power runner.
You try and figure out where he likes to go with the ball in certain situations. Then when you face that situation in the game, you're right there in position to knock the pass away or force an interception.
The Chargers come out in a nickel package. Toss play to the left.
Not saying that Warwick Dunn can't operate in a one-gap power run offense. Obviously he could and he did. But he really benefited from the zone run with his agility, shiftiness, and ability to accelerate, like, you know, not lose speed as he makes his cuts and his decisions.
Moore will come into this game to punt. Here's the punt.
It's good to see that the run game isn't like too powerful, but it still had some big plays.
He did the right thing. Concentrated and caught the ball.
It's not an interception fest yet. Right, kind of like 2 out of 3, whatever, 2 out of 4, whatever. It's still early. Right. Like, Dunn is actually losing yards.
Let's get back to the action on the field.
Did you just say back off DBs, stay up? There you go, LT.
They blitz and it backfires.
Yeah, that's a chance you take. You're hoping to get some penetration and hit him in the backfield. But if you miss, there isn't a lot of help at the next level.
Didn't Tomlinson just get up and now they're helping him up? Am I tripping? You know, Asuka, how many different people go on my channel and they tell me that me doing this makes them want to either buy or do an emulation or whatever. Denny says that he got some emulation going of Madden 03, watching it. Dying Chais literally did some Madden 2002 from watching my channel. Like, I literally commented on it and he said that yes. On his Madden 02 video, I commented and he said, yeah, it inspired him. And several people, Knowles fan, who I think the Chiefs changing his screen name, talked about how it inspired him to get back into it. This stuff is just so good. I'm so glad that I inspire others. Right? That's the best I could ask for out of a community. Right? Is that I make inspiration and impact others in a positive way. If that makes any sense. He's got room, but it's coming back. But the fact is, we've got another breakaway run, which we can adjust the holding sliders. But I doubt that hold like made the run possible. Like maybe it was this hold, and it kept it from being or would have kept it from being a touchdown. I don't know. But the fact is that we can get the blocks out there, and we can hit the edge, and it looks realistic and not just trashy. Like Madden 02. The outside runs are so powerful because they have concrete shoes. But we know in Madden 03, they don't have concrete shoes. And you can see them flow naturally. Like, this is something I would like to do. Maybe we're going to do it even tonight. We're not going to finish this game. It's just look at some differences for fun. But watch, like, there is a little bit of sliding on the grass, right, with the feet. But there's actual, like, footwork here. I know I'm chopping it for the animation on the replay. But you can see some fluidity of motion. He got a little, like, caught up, but tries to adjust to get there. And then, what are we looking at with Brooking? Yeah, like, he's moving. Oh, the right trigger's better than the black-white button. Yeah, there is a little bit of, like, slidey ghostiness, right? Like the left foot, the right foot. There's a little bit of slidey ghostiness, but it's not like in a horrible way that ruins the experience. It's not like some Xbox 360 sliding that we see, like in Madden 8, 9, stuff like that. They fixed that for Madden 10. But it's not so terrible. Like, it's not gross. He's still, his body movement, if you don't look at his physical feet, his body movement doesn't look off, right? Like his shoulders and everything doesn't look like impossible steps and like he's floating to a spot, if that makes sense. And they're actively using the linebacker shuffle. I would like to have seen him get outside a little bit more, especially with having a defender that can crash this hole, right? We've got a backside pursuit here. We can crash the hole here, and then we can flow over the top a little bit. But Tomlinson and them are really pushing him here. There's a good transition, like a fluidity of the hit and the swim over, right? And you can see, like, just the physical speed and ability of Tomlinson is just faster and better than this Falcons defense is ready for. I'm kind of looking at safety play here, right? He's clearly a deep middle zone player, like playing in the hole. So he goes in the hole, and then you don't want him to react to the run until there's like a clear handoff, which he does, because it could be play action. Any of this point, it could be play action, and then, okay, no, it's a real run. I've got to do something. You don't want him instantly just crashing on the run from the snap of the ball. So I'm fine with his positioning, at which point the wide receiver is not worried about blocking the corner. He's blocking safeties like they're taught to block. So even though he gets messed up, like, that's what helps, and like actual scheme and technique matter, which is nice. And again, it looks like he's bailing. And it's only until the ball is handed off and clearly handed off and not a play action is he reacting, which is also something that I like. They're not just instant reacting. Like, they don't just like, oh, hey, they snapped the ball, it is run, right? They're actually going to spots and playing their defense. And whenever the ball is confirmed handed off, they're at least reacting then. So those are all things that I like. Madden 2002, the outside run was just crazy good because, yeah, they had concrete shoes. And Madden 03, it was almost a little bit too weak.
First and a long way to go.
Asuka says, I might emulate one, but I don't have the computer. I might get a PS2 once I get my student grant refund. Fantastic. If you use Android, you can play Madden on that. Okay. Interesting.
They come out in a dime package.
Probably need to go to 11 minutes for like full simulation, but I like what we're seeing here, huh?
They'll get it again.
So smooth.
Has now crossed the 150-yard mark.
So smooth. Right, we can talk about the run blocking. I have the run blocking set at 11 out of 20. I think it's 11. I don't think it's 12. And this is where like I would constantly check the strength ratings, but I'm pretty sure Parker has a 90-plus strength rating, unless I'm absolutely mistaken. But also, usually the right tackles are the power tackles. He is going up against a defensive tackle and not a defensive end in Kearney. But still, this is where like I value like having strength whenever we're doing franchise mode, right? And having that happen. And then Tomlinson with a good, smooth change of direction. And then pushing forward. So smooth.
We'll go back to the play on the field.
Patrick says I have it set up on my cloud. Sync saves my saves across all devices even though I use multiple emulators. Yeah.
Hand off to the tailback. Race free of the defender.
I'll run up the gut. It is what it is.
They'll go from the I formation. Tomlinson steamrolls the defender. So he picks
Almost
up the yard.
converts. Almost moves the chains. Good stuff in the chat, guys. Good stuff. Anything we can do to help each other get this experience. I love it.
So this field goal attempt will be from about 33 yards away. And it's up. The kick sails through the uprights.
Yeah, I'm a diehard fanboy of the original Xbox controller, the layout, the triggers, black-white button, where the thumbsticks are positioned. I've got larger hands. Not super mammoth hands, but I've got larger hands, so the PlayStation 2 controller also feels like a little toy in my hands. I don't like where the D-pad and thumbsticks are located personally.
In the air. Booming kick downfield.
I know that people with smaller hands talked about, like, oh, the Xbox controller feels gigantic. It felt like you're holding a console in your hands, and I'm like, it just feels like I'm holding a normal controller. So I've always been partial to it. It's good to see Dunn get some yards.
About a 4-yard gain there. About 6 to go. Only one man back. Done. The 30.
I don't have the Duke here, but I've used the Duke and I liked it. I just didn't like the positioning of the black and white. Does that make sense? The black and white position being up and to the right of the face buttons. I really like the one after the Duke. Like, can we go to settings, gameplay? Yeah, you hear what's drawn in the art. This one feels like the most comfortable, but the Duke was nice as well. Like, me just holding it right now, without a camera, like, showing you. The ball of my thumb, like the knuckle, but like the bottom of my knuckle, sits on the left thumbstick. And while I can back it up and bend my thumb and, like, back up my palm, usually, like, it'll just rest right there. And then I'll move, like, to my full thumb onto the pad, right? But the other thing is the face buttons, I put the center of my thumbprint in between, like, the Y, A, B, and X, like, as a resting position. And I've always got the knuckle of my thumb ready to rock or rest between the white and black buttons. And so, like, at a resting position at dead center of them, I can just rock my thumb, like, left, right, like, down, left, down, right, and, like, tap those white and black buttons, but also, like, crack any of the buttons I want at a moment's notice. And it feels nice, along with physically pulling a trigger and having a trigger that, to my understanding, is pressure sensitive just like the other buttons, as opposed to, like, L1 and L2 and R1 and R2, and having, like, to manipulate potentially, like, index finger and middle finger, or jumping up and down between, like, 4 buttons with my index fingers. I like having access to 6 buttons all within just my thumb, like, rocking in one way or the other, and then, like, hard trigger pulls. I just like that a lot more. And then the same thing, like, being able to knuckle rock or just drop off for the start and back buttons. I just like that more than, like, going to the center of the controller. Orochi Alter, what's up? And then Patrick C says, yeah, you bought your first Xbox in 2003 and they're ready to stop building them with that Duke controller. Yeah, exactly. So let's, who's going to get the ball? Who has the ball right now? First and whatever? Okay, great. Let's do that. Let's go settings. I have not set this up for user play.
Let's get back to the play on the field. Passing on first down.
I think that might be a design run.
Good read by the defense there.
Yeah, you're right about the controller configurations, not pressure sensitive. Yeah, I believe Xbox was the first one to do the pressure sensitive. So here we go with the play calling menu as it is. There's the Axe Madden. And let's flip it. Yeah, this is another thing that's really nice is the addition of the accelerated clock is nice. We're going to read X to B with the ability to escape later.
It's his receiver in stride. Great throw to beat the zone.
I'll tell you this.
So yeah, the idea there is they were just splitting out and then there was a hole in the zone. I just tried to time it up 1, 2, 3, and then, yeah, I did not use her. I did not let the computer do the drop back because I'm so used to playing 03. But I think that was a pretty sharp window to lead that pass into. And a nice read. That's why we say we read X to B. And there is a hole there. And do we have the power to get it into that shot? And we do. So we 3-step drop and we just West Coast offense it.
Back to the field.
Passing the ball.
What do you guys want? What do you want? Z cross in. Z cross in on 3rd and 1? No, screw you. Let's try to get the first down.
They line up in the I formation.
Like, Madden, I don't want to, like, pass on 3rd and 1. I want to convert.
That gets set. They get the call again. Dunn picks up just enough with a first. So it's a first down there.
Yeah, this whole play call menu with the score bug and everything and the camera angle is really nice. And then when you have 2 players, they put it between the play calling menus, so there's still like a lot of really good presentation there. So we still don't have double team blocking. Double team blocking is still a lie in this game. He just kind of exists and isn't doing anything. He's there to like catch the defender versus actually double team. And so we're kind of worried about this block with the tight end, especially when we don't get help right here. Like, he looks like he's going to drive. Like, that's something that I would like to see. I'm not saying, oh, 4 is bad because he didn't do this. No, but it would be nice to see, like, an actual double team here and, like, control and dominate the edge, right? Especially with a big an offensive tackle. But we don't get that, and then you're worried about him slipping off the block immediately after because he's not getting double team and dominated. And so you don't really want to go outside because they've got leverage to stop you. So you want to go inside, and you don't want the instant inside slip and getting tackled. So that's what kind of sucks, and why I really would like to see them dominate and just drive the guy off the ball and push him backwards 4 or 5 yards and let the fullback lead it through the hole. So that's something that like is a turnoff to me. And then like we just have to get the first, right?
So let's pick up the action.
Bang the ball up in there. Those safeties.
Oh, now you want to bang the ball up in
and
there.
that's when you can go over the top.
Well, we're going to flip it so the wide receiver is to the field side. Okay, I didn't know we were in the middle of the field. Whatever. Because they're shift over, we're really probably reading the defensive tackle.
You give it to the halfback. Picks up maybe 3 on that.
Like, my idea was if they're shifted over too much, we're kind of like auto-reading him off and just reading here. And then I see, like, this defender filling this gap. So if we're just running straight at him, like, that's bull in the china shop stupid. So it's like, as I'm reading it, I'm reading this block, and I'm like, well, I want to go inside. No, I don't. That's why I was, like, panicking in the moment, if you want to call it panicking. And then just trying to identify a lead blocker in the form of 83. And if I had more experience with the subtleties of the controls, I would probably be trying to tap left trigger juke out this way and do something. But I'm literally doing it on the fly here. And yeah, we just get hit right there. And then it says this matchup going to be an offensive highlight show. Hiroshi Alter knows.
Be patient out there. When you see an opportunity, that's when you attack. But don't force it.
It's second down.
So looking at sending the wide receivers to the field side, taking Brian Finneran from the boundary and even potentially moving him over if we can get a matchup that we like.
Man in motion.
We don't get a matchup that we like, so let's send him back. So keep at least someone as blocker. 3, 2, 1, and
To the left. With the hurt. And he's brought down at the.
yeah, that was a sugar, honey, and iced tea show. Not only did we get absolutely dominated by having a linebacker versus a wide receiver, like double stacking like that, yeah, all the angles and everything were bad. And this is where I would normally have my personal audible set and just run the ball up the gut, but we're just running what the game is recommended for us. And as I got it, I'm like, okay, this is also why we stay off the sprint button. We get a lot more agility if we're not sprinting. So we can have like an inhuman change of direction, spin on one foot. And then I started sprinting when I shouldn't have because I would have kept my inhuman agility and then like cut it around some more.
Let's get back to the action on the field.
3rd and 4.
Should be able to pick up the yardage you need here.
Heard Price doesn't have any peers.
And this is the 8th play of this drive. Godfrey holds him down.
That is bad play design. To let that in, let that happen. You should be attacking here. You should be letting the fullback kick here. Instead, we let a free defender in. Yeah, we should really be, 74 should be attacking 53. You let the fullback just be a kick or a doorstop or whatever. And then let us follow. If you're hitting this block, we can follow Crumpler through the gap. That's really bad.
And we go back to the game.
A is a button to throw to, so it does not run with the quarterback button. We're going to have to Y button this. Looking at L and quarterback running.
Here they come. Looking for an option. Scramble. He's going to run it. Breaking free. Great move.
I was expecting him to fumble. So right off the bat, congratulations to the computer being smart and blitzing off of Vic's like running strength side. And then in doing so, they actually cover that flat that I wanted to. The defense really had a good call against exactly what I wanted to do, even as a user. So I was just like baiting it and waiting on it. And like, okay, we could just like toss it here, but why are we going to throw the football and risk an incompletion when we can just take it ourselves? And yeah, as a user, you can like throw in the spin move, the Michael Vick spin move and all that.
We'll go back to the play on the field.
Tell your line to protect here.
Tell your line to protect on every play.
Not just here. You need to get some time back there and let someone get open.
They line up in the I
I don't like the B slant when I already have a lion slant with X and A.
Passing on first down. Buying time. There he goes.
I need to get the timing of the Michael Vick spin move because it's pretty nasty if I throw it a little bit earlier. Just spin his butt and then I'm downfield with like a blocker and you're just scoring. I need to get the timing a little bit better. But honestly, it's like, oh, you're just trying to run with Vic. I'm trying to read the actual slant play. I'm trying to read inside out. And what I read is this. Like, first thing my eyes see is them bailing and giving me the tight end. So then I want to confirm the tight end as I finish my drop and like, oh, he's getting pressured. So as he's getting pressured, I'm like, it's escape time because we're going to get in trouble. And if that's it, then can I just toss it to Warwick? Okay, if they've got it to Warwick, then I guess we're actually running it instead of like flipping it out to Warwick. And I need to spin move earlier. It would be harder to throw with your left going right, wouldn't it? Yes.
Let's get back to the play on the field.
Get the offensive line to maintain their blocks.
I love the accelerated clock
Ball
running.
on the 33-yard line.
Let's get that edge block, please.
He finds some room up the middle and gets the first.
Hey, all he had to do was get behind those big old blockers and just keep pushing. The next thing.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Same thing. We're not really having a double team, so I'm just trying my best to read number 70. Like, it's the off-tackle run where the halfback tries to read the tackle of the block of the tackle. Like, that's really all it was. It's just what's happening on the edge. Do we have a sealed edge with the fullback out kicking, or do we have to keep this inside? And clearly, what I said earlier, what I was worried about, is right there. So we're just like, okay, we're just following the tackle and picking up yards.
Back to the game.
Spread the ball around and make sure the defense knows that they have to cover every receiver.
Okay, now we've got a dragon combo, right? Kind of. You've got a little bit of the L button with the B button dragon, and you've also got that like little scissor action with Finneran. And we've got an empty left side of the field. So not like I'm going to run to the left side of the field with Michael Vick. But I do want to read the primary receiver, the tight end. Is he getting pressed? Do we have a release over the middle? Do you have a backside of Michael Vick just drop back and flick it out to the halfback to the flats. Like, do you have that stuff? Those are the things that I'm going to be looking at when I drop back. And if they're not there, then at least I'm going to see if I've got like that. It's not really backdoor because it's in front of his passing arm strength. But do I just have an escape route to that left side that looks really vacant pre-snap?
Back to the field. Throwing on first down. Scrambling under pressure. Will keep it. And
Good. There's that fumble I was expecting earlier.
The 40, the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. He was trying to make something happen.
Yeah, and it's like, what do we get to see? We don't even get to see the rest of the play. Like, where's Algie Crumpler and all of them? I don't even get to show the replay here. But it's like, okay, that's good on them. Trying to do too much with Vic. That should be considered not a fumble. That's a good defense on them. Like, they're not making it easy to run with the ball, and that's good.
Let's pick up the action.
And it says, I'm the kind of guy that just loves to abuse a quarterback, rollouts, naked boots, all that kind of stuff. So it'd be playing Vic way more unabashedly low. Yeah, no, I get it. I totally do. I just feel like, and when I say it's cheese, I don't mean that as an insult. I mean, like, there's a funness to, like, use him, how can I say it, like, try to pass with him and then make the run the threat, like, make him, like, the air quote unstoppable. Like, oh, I'm going to operate an offense, and if you have everyone covered, then I'm going to take off. I hate the 3-4 defense in this video game.
And knowing how to get it there. Hey, even if the defense expects a run on first down, I'd still run it right at them. If they don't get in, there's no need to rush things.
This is another game that I hate the 3-4 defense.
Lines up with two backs behind him. Closing in. He's taken down in the backfield. The linebacker just loads him.
Now, that's what this guy did so well. Most guys, once they beat a guy, search for the quarterback. With him, he knows where he is, and he closes on him fast. Here's where the
We don't even have a
defense
proper
needs to
cover
make a
2
play.
zone.
Maybe they bring some heat with a blitz, or they change up the coverage. That way, they can force the offense into making a mistake and keep him from getting any points before the half.
They give it to the halfback. Tomlinson was stuffed on that play, John.
They're just relentless when the offense decides to run the ball. They break down blocks very quickly. They do a good job maintaining their gap assignments, limiting cutback opportunity. The defense can't suffer a letdown because they've done a great job the last 2 plays to force this situation. One more great play should get them the ball back with some time to work with.
Dropping back, pressure, looking for an option, throws it. This one falls incomplete.
Well, the fullback that ran down the other player prevented it from being a fumble 6, and the defense stood up and made it only a field goal.
And it's on its way. It's good. It's good again for the second time today. Bennett will be kicking off.
Okay, 53 seconds. We don't have time for just like a regular running offense.
From the 4-yard line. The Falcons will start
50 seconds. What do we have?
First and 10. Ball on their own 18. Throwing on first down. Looking for a receiver. Throws it right to him. He found a soft spot in the coverage.
4 seconds. 8 yards.
He found a hole in the zone, and the quarterback found him in that hole with the pass.
The Chargers come out with 3 down linemen and 7 defensive backs.
Be quick, L.
Scrambling around with the throw.
Oh! I was like, really, like, we got something. Credit on them, huh? Does he warp to get that? I don't think so. I think that's all natural fluid motion.
Let's get back to the action on the field.
The defense has to...
Yeah, imagine if the Falcons team had weapons. Exactly. 3rd and 2. We got to convert before we worry about...
3rd
scoring
And
points.
here's what they've been.
We should have all of our timeouts, and we just got to worry about moving the chains before we need to worry about big play right now.
Rolling left. Buying time. Rowing. He finds his man. Can't bring him down. Atlanta calls a timeout. They have 2 timeouts remaining.
And here's where efficiency is the key. They're down right now, but if they score before the half, it'll really help them out. They just can't afford a turnover that gives the other team a chance to increase the lead.
Coming back to pass on first down. Rolls left. It's the pass off.
I was trying to threaten that safety with Finneran. I was trying to threaten him, like Finneran split that way and then pass lead inside. And I think I'm already throwing the ball at this point. Like, I really wanted him to commit. Probably should have just thrown to Finneran. Oh, well.
Back to the play on the field. 2nd and 10.
30 seconds, 2 timeouts.
Rolling left. He surveys the field.
What accuracy was that? I was throwing to B. I pressed the B button. My entire goal was to drag this over. They're putting 2 there and have B come over behind this. Like, I'm literally reading safety and trusting in B. As I'm rolling, I'm not even looking at B. I know that B is supposed to be there and trusting my guy is going to be where he's supposed to be. I'm rolling. I'm pulling coverage as I'm rolling. I see that they're dedicated 2 to stop that deep ball. And I just see all this green grass and I hit B. And that's the throw we got to B. Wow.
Dropping back. Surveying the field. Gets rid of it.
And you dropped
This
it.
one falls incomplete. Just a little time left before the half, and they'll punt it. The Chargers come out in a nickel package. Drops back. Looking downfield. Rolls out to his left. Throwing.
Wow, it's so inaccurate. It's like disgusting.
He got
I think I have it like set to like really bad user settings. Wow. Yeah, I've got human to zero accuracy and crying about the accuracy. Oh, that's probably why. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I know why.
get back to the play on the field.
You need to watch the guys up front on this play. They're going to be passing. And the best thing the defense can do here is to get some pressure on the quarterback. Either throw a pick or taking him down for the sack.
They'll pass on first down. Passing right. Almost
Oh, where's my pick?
It looked like that was going to be a turnover.
I'll tell you, he did almost everything right on that one. He was able to read the quarterback's eyes. He got himself in good position to make the interception. And when it got to him, just bounced off his hand.
Atlanta comes out in their nickel package. Pressure coming. Goes with a short pass to the right side. Not much there.
This is where the defense needs to just play smart and not give up a big play. There's not a whole lot of time left, so they just need to prevent him from getting into field goal range.
Under pressure. Slings it to the outside. Oh, he makes the catch anyway. The Chargers call.
Ah, he didn't burn enough time.
Timeouts left. About a 51-yard attempt here.
That's makeable for distance.
The kick is up.
And he
It
missed.
was long enough, but it's
Okay.
sliced to the right as they head to the locker room. Back to the game. We're ready to start this.
Okay. So, next phase. Game modes, practice, normal, Falcons, doesn't matter who the opponent is. I love practice mode, man. Absolutely love practice mode. I form normal, tight and flat, flip left-handed, random play all, primary, do. Just throw it on time. It's all on random play mode. Just a little natural drop back. Oh, I thought you were going to go downfield, Warwick. Literally, when he was doing this, and I'm like, one-on-one, let's launch it, baby. And then he started cutting back in the field. Okay. Play action, QB draw, no tight end flat, no falcon sweep, no screw you slants. Random play all. So this is why I say reading inside out. You're reading the slant here. It's absolutely clogged up. So then you're going to the next position, which is X. I'm delivering him the ball, and he just can't hang on to it. So whatever. A to X. We saw the middle of the field break open. We just had to buy time as a quarterback and wait for him to get through the congestion of the traffic, because he was like heavily congested here. Once he's able to go, it's still the right position. You just have to wait for it to develop. And again, simple read, draw it back, middle's taken away, then we're going to the next read. Like, we're like, okay, this at this point we're already like, no, we're just checking X, and we know that with the slide we're going to have it right here. And we get it. So there we go. That is why you have to read the middle. Here, whatever is going to take it away. There's no like throwing it in between here, like in this little cross window. Like they're going to take that. So you got to read the defender's not your guy. That's the point. Wow, ball positioning, but again, it's zero accuracy. Like, and also the receiver is like trying to like backwards body catch it. The cheerleaders have physics. There's your unabashed shit, Patrick. Whoop. There's your accuracy. I think the human zero accuracy is pretty good. Maybe you want like one accuracy. He's wide open and I just flick it out there. And ends up being a pick, but like maybe you want one accuracy. He's a 95. He should be this inaccurate. He's 84 accuracy. What does 84 accuracy mean? Good. I kind of want to test that. Like, I want to put some real test on this accuracy. Like, throwing a bullet and it's just off target. Like, I want to, like, really test the downfield ball positioning. Now, a little bit is that the wide receiver. Like, I'm like, let him get picked up. And where can we put a ball? Yeah, he's trying to catch it in a different spot than where it's being placed. So I want to see what they can get away with. One accuracy seems pretty good. Might go two, but one seems pretty decent. Okay, just trying to see how tight I can move. Like, at the end there, you know, like, I can just dip out more. But I want to see how tight the responsiveness is. Like, here, I can just dip down low and get more. A lot of the time here, like, I'm just trying to get a feel without being in a game situation where next it's, like, 2nd and 47, you know? Fuck, if I almost pulled that one off. It looked like at the end I was about to pull that one off for a score. It almost felt like it. It felt like with just the right block and the right pickup, it looked like just him and me in the end zone. And as I took off, they had a good pursuit here. Okay, that's no sprint button, just natural Vic no sprint button. I gotta sprint away from him. No sprint button, just moving with Vic's natural agility. He was gonna get caught behind. I'm sprinting now. Sprinting now. Sprinting again. It's interesting to watch for sure. No sprinting, just natural movement. Just no sprinting, just natural movement, natural agility. Escape speed. Okay, I'm going to sprint now to get a little bit of an edge. Does that make you happy to see, Patrick? Is that what you wanted? God, Lee. I almost thought I was going to take it in. Without sprinting, it's really a hard angle. Like the chase down angle is pretty good. Not sprinting, just sticks. He's going to catch me. I need to sprint and buy time. Off the sprint now, and then the agility. Oh, I love the agility cutback right there. That was pretty sick. The safety off that right side is a problem. Just got here to see that, Vic. Exactly. Like, that in the replay didn't get to show the little move that I got to get my linemen to just pop these guys. And this is that thing that safety back there, he was the one that was really killing the cutback. Again, no sprint, just Vic's natural ability. I've got to sprint to get away here. And I'm laying off sprint again. I've got to sprint to get away. But you've got an edge, and off sprint now, and then on sprint again, and yeah, he got me. It wasn't enough. Off sprint, just chilling. Picked up the block. And then sprint. And he's able to get me. It's Charles Woodson, so I'm not complaining about that. Just kind of checking the pursuit. Oh, there we go. The one accuracy is fine. Everyone got flagged for blindside blocking. Love seeing Charles Woodson make plays. Yeah. That's interesting to see with the one accuracy that we have. Right, how inaccurate should 84 accuracy be? Right? Because on time, bloop, 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 with the animation, set your foot, he's throwing it like right where it needs to be. We've seen that from the start of practice, is if he's on rhythm and on time, he can throw pretty good passes. And then you just obviously run. You just let him hit his drop back, and then you throw the ball. And he throws some pretty good passes with one accuracy. Right. There's a good fumble. I wonder how a more accurate QB would do with your sliders, and Denny says looks good. Yeah, that's the point. Is that what do we want 84 accuracy or whatever, 84, 85 accuracy to look like? And or like what do we want, 84 throwing accuracy to not look like, right? in comparison, we've got a 2-point difference, and we've got Kittner, right? If we're sub 80. And I guess one of the questions, like Denny, Asuka, Patrick, all of you, obviously, if you're an NFL quarterback, it means you've been most likely recruited by a Division I team, most likely been a starter for your Division I team. Obviously, there are Division II quarterbacks that played in the league. There's backups that played in the league, Matt Castles and all that. But just in theory, if you've got this Division I player, starter, recruited, big school, Virginia Tech, whatever, but any other school, and now you've made the NFL, you've made a 53-man roster. How inaccurate are you really? Because, like, Tebow wasn't inaccurate. Tebow was NFL inaccurate. Like, Tom Brady has talked about accuracy, and he's like, oh, do you want it on this shoulder, that shoulder, ear hole, like, front of the face mask, behind it, this elbow here, like, whatever. He's like, you want it in this exact specific place. That's what NFL accuracy is, right? And it's like Tebow's wind up when fractions of a second matter and the yards that a player can cover. So his javelin throw took longer to get the ball out, and his inability to do pinpoint precision right within the framework of the body was a difference maker, right? It's not that Tim Tebow couldn't hit a fat bull in the ass. He could, but with the throwing motion that an Ed Reed couldn't have the closing speed, and you needed outside the reach of the defender accurate, that's a different issue altogether. Exactly, too fast paced for a skill set. Had a 55% completion percentage in 2002 for reference and all of that. Yeah, drop back, right trigger. Now, that whole conversation I just had is this. You drop back, you're on time, you're in rhythm, you throw it where you're supposed to throw it, and you miss? Is this what 79 accuracy should look like? And how many times are we going to see that, right? Because that was fine. Is this what we want 79 accuracy to look like? Where he has to do this to get the football? So yeah, thoughts. Tell me what you see. Is it what you want to see out of 79 accuracy? And an NFL quarterback? Right? I think the one accuracy is probably pretty good. How good is this guy? If you had to use an adjective to describe how good of a quarterback he is, what adjective would you use? Hey, look, there we go. That might be an actual quarterback that we might have a conversation about, right? He's one of the worst in the league. Tim-Tom. Jim Druckenmiller is only 3 years pro. Are you kidding me? There's no way that's true. Is that true? No. That's got to be wrong. Jim Druckenmiller, I think, was 1999. I'm pretty sure Jim Druckenmiller was the same class as Jake the Snake Plummer. I'm 99% sure that... Yeah. Yeah. Okay, comments section. He had Brian Finneran and would still overthrow him at the 6'5", right? And wasn't great at leading the receiver open. Exactly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not good for that. And there's Giovanni Carmazzi. See, Giovanni Carmazzi was drafted the same draft as Tom Brady, was taken by the 49ers. But Drunken Miller was taken by the 49ers, I believe, 2 years prior to that in 1999. Where is, I'm sure it's the Broncos, right? Yeah, Jake the Snake Plumber, 6 years pro. Yeah. 97. Yeah, no, Jim Drunken Miller has to be 97. I don't know why they have Drunken Miller. Now, like, oh, the game is trash. Take out the how many years pro Jim Drunken Miller is wrong. No, but I just wanted to, like, test out. Let's go to practice mode. Let's go Tickety Texans. Oh, hey, let's talk about this real fast. How nice does this game sound? How satisfying is this menu? How nice is the colorful, bold boxes and fonts and all of that? Like the charts and the colors. Like that sound, that those hard thunks, the little glitter, clunk, bonk, but they're not the same sound, so you don't feel like you're just hearing the same clunk, 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 clunk as you're going through the menu, but like that's a little glittery sound. Then I press A, junk, like we're going into a mode, and then you're selecting a little selection, like a little boop, right? Click, click. Like selecting a team is another click, 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 click. But we haven't made like a full selection. So like this, how satisfying is that just from like game design, audio design, whatever? Like we haven't made a choice, so it's not as rough as like you made a choice. Like and here, this is your selection. You got a tiny little menu. And you get the little oh, you made a selection. Nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. You're choosing teams now, not just what mode. What's your team going to be? Boom, and then slide. We're sliding away to a new menu. Right? We get both the bonk and the accept and the reject. But you get that sliding motion of you're seeing a new screen. And now we're seeing a new screen. Now, we didn't have a cancel sound effect a few times there. Chunk. You're sliding your... How nice is that? Did I say Tom Brady was taken by the 49ers? I was just having like a whole bunch of sentences in my head that I didn't finish a complete one. Tom Brady was taken in the same draft that Giovanni Carmazzi was taken by the 49ers. Right? That was the intended sentence. So yeah, if I just like had my stream of consciousness ramblingness. But yeah, the idea that they didn't even scout him, that Bill Walsh was really interested in Giovanni Carmazzi's athleticism, that the video game itself does not give him the athleticism that he deserves. Yeah, of course we do. Of course I wish Tom Brady was taken by the Niners, and yet in some ways, would Tom Brady be the man that we know him as today if he had been taken by the organization in that state, in that condition, if you will? One of the other things that's interesting about that, 1999, Steve Young gets a career-ending concussion. Garcia comes in and has the job. They don't have a great season in 99. But Garcia, doesn't he throw... Yeah, he throws like a 4,000-yard season or whatever in the year 2000 when Tom Brady's a rookie. Right? Like, if they had taken him... Because Carmazzi was not like in any danger of taking Garcia's job. Like, Madden 2001, Garcia... Madden 2002 is the 2001 season. Coming off of the 2000 season... Garcia's like 89 or whatever overall. Like, he's pretty well rated and established as a quarterback. And the next year, the Madden 03, we see him as a 95. Right? Like, there's no way that Tom Brady is given a chance to even show who he is. Like, until the same era of the Tim Rattay era, whenever Garcia is gone. Like, can you basically imagine, like, Tom Brady getting his first shot in ESPN NFL 2K5, having never taken, like, a live game rep or whatever because Garcia's finally gone, and now it's Garcia with, not Garcia, but Tom Brady with that 49ers team, like, led by Tom Brady instead of Tim Rattay, but that team that literally went, like, went 2 wins and was the number 1 pick overall, that got Alex Smith. Like, just that timeline, like, not even given a chance. And then the trashy way that organization was being operated by Denise York and everything. Like, would Tom Brady have washed out? Would he have bounced around? Would he have found a home? Like, at what point would New England have gotten tired of Bledsoe? Because Bledsoe had that big contract. But we know how he performed with the Bills and later the Cowboys. At what point does, like, just how Tim Rattay left the Niners, does a Tom Brady contract expire and they go after whoever? Like, what? Who takes the flyer on Tom Brady moving on? Maybe from the 49ers. Like, they have him and he's just your Tim Rattay, right? Like, I mean, he's better than that, but he has no weapons or no support and no team that's going to go to the Super Bowl and give him credit. And they probably are bad at identifying the talent in the first place or in developing it. At what point does Tom Brady get the opportunity to maybe go to another team in free agency and do something? And I'm not saying the same path as like the Rich Gannon because it'd be younger, but the chance to, or the Trent Green with Washington or whatever, and then going off to the Rams, right? Before he got hurt and then had to go to Kansas City. Like, what kind of path is that? Is Tom Brady good enough with that 2-14 49ers team that they're not 2-14, but they're 4 wins or 6 wins because they've got Tom? Like, assuming Tom works as hard as he does and is the leader that he is and competes as hard as he does and he's everything Tom Brady is, but the rest of the team around him is that, 2004 49ers squad. Does he elevate them enough? Because they are bad. Do they see enough that it's like, wow, this kid is really good and we need to build a team around him and we need to get weapons instead of drafting Alex Smith? Like, what is that storyline like? That's just, I think, interesting. And then Denny G says, agreed on the aesthetics. Those NFL Europe teams, lol, you wish he was, though, yeah. Really like Garcia, others since then, not so much. Fair. Azuka says, I know a Pats fan who still says to this day that he wanted them to stick with Bledsoe before that first Super Bowl. Bledsoe was beloved by Pats fans. He was beloved by them. Brady probably would have become Gus Frerotte and just bounced around, most likely, like given the chance or not given the chance. Yeah, Bledsoe, the big thing here, Asuka, like having watched it, like Bledsoe and the Steelers, because Denny G is here, so it's like trying to rip a Band-Aid off. Bledsoe was not that great in that game against the Steelers, but he was good enough. And if I recall it being the same game, or maybe I'm confusing with a regular season game, I believe Troy Brown was like a real big-time performer in that Steelers championship game. Bledsoe did enough to win, but the thing was, Bledsoe didn't play well enough against the Steelers to say, yeah, he needs to be the starter in the Super Bowl. It was more like Brady's injury was bad enough to keep him out of the game. But if Brady's injury was not bad enough to keep him out of the Super Bowl, like if it was questionable, maybe you go with Drew. But Brady had shown to that point before the injury early in that game that he was a better quarterback than Drew Bledsoe. I believe even Madden 2003 like kind of agrees. I think they're both rated like 84, 85 overall, like very equal. Whereas Bledsoe, I think, is like a 92 or something in Madden 2002. We can all look at those numbers in just a little bit. But even Madden is like, yeah, they're kind of the same at that point because Brady's on the rise and Bledsoe is generally on the fall at that point. Troy Brown was a greater weapon than he ever got credit for. Absolutely, Denny. Absolutely. We were going to look at quarterback accuracy, right? And we saw that Banks wasn't the most inaccurate quarterback in the league, but he is in that bottom tier, right? Like we saw like 68 or whatever, but that's again the question, how bad is bad? Right? How bad should bad be? Random play current form. What? 3 wide. Cross up. B button. I pick random play current form there in this. I wonder, okay, I think this is something that 04 does, where they come out in the base formation, then the next play they'll come out in nickel. Yeah, now they're out in nickel, like I thought. Okay, not pushing any button, just A, and let the computer run it. The computer threw the pass, so the computer will auto-throw for you. Okay, let him do his drop back, and then press L, and he puts a floater up there. Where he just, like, the receiver just comes to, like, a complete jog, waiting for the ball. Interesting. Okay, we've got X over the middle, drop back. Now, we were hit there. Bounce step, and we're hit. So that's why the ball went out of control. Drop back, boop, boop. Okay, I really like throwing this ball right here because can Banks, like, how does he lead against this linebacker? Right, and the receiver is bending backwards, and it's a tip. Okay, he can get him the ball there. I mean, this is a pass. I'm not saying I could survive against this defense. But, I mean, I could physically just stand back there in, like, a shotgun. Or have the coach hand me the football and go, 1, 2, 3, and just throw it to a spot. Right, I could physically put the ball there. I'm not saying doing all the other mechanics and under center and do all the step drop back and do it at the exact time while the guy's going to hit me and no. But just physically, if you're in the NFL, you should be able to just drop back and make this throw. And he does. And I think that's fine. I don't think that was like an outrageous throw to ask of him. I think his lack of throwing power, maybe I'm putting too much of a lob. But you can see the receiver is just jogging this thing out. Like, you can see he goes from like a speed to slows down there. And he's just waiting for the ball to arrive. And that's 87 throw power. I wonder if I'm trying to bullet it, what it would look like. Drop back, and then on rhythm, on time, lead to the left with a bullet. Do we feel fine with that? I think we do, right? I think one accuracy seems pretty solid. Like, they're not completely trash. You should be on rhythm when you want to throw it. He can still miss it, like NFL miss it, like the speed and timing. Right? You're just throwing it out here and you just miss the guy. Let me know, folks. I know I'm 30 seconds ahead of you because I put the most minimum delay, which is like 30 seconds because there's like longer delays. I don't think there's a 3 second. Whatever it is. Maybe I am 3 seconds. I don't know. That was a nice little, like, lead that he put on it. And then Andre Johnson going up and doing Andre Johnson stuff. Nice. Okay, now you asked what other quarterbacks could do with it. So, let's. Alright, Rich Gannon, Kurt Warner. Like, Kurt Warner, the 95 and the 97 throwing power, the 86 throwing power for Rich. Oh, that's another sound. That's nice, huh? Maybe I'm the only one that cares. Kurt or Favre with the power. I want to see what it's like with the lower power, and then we can go to the higher power, right? Double hitches. Drop back. So I think the X button wasn't even available while he was getting pressed. Like, I don't remember seeing like the X button even as an option, because I pressed the button and he didn't even throw it. He's not like sidearming everything like in 03. 03, like every single pass he would sidearm. I wouldn't call that like a full Gannon sidearm, but I don't know if they got rid of the animation. But I'm glad that he doesn't just overdo it and throw everything sidearm, right? You said Favre, who else? Rich Gannon, your favorite. The one-year wonder, right, Asuka? That's what I'm a little concerned with, is like you're throwing out and away, and it's still behind the receiver. But how much is that, like, on me that I could make a change here? Yeah, franchise mode is fun because the Raiders team retires in year number 1. Okay, that's unrealistic. Jerry Rice dropped the pass. He caught it and then didn't hang on. We'll have to stick him in the gloves. Maybe that click to 6 sensitivity helped, because at least the ball is like trying to get out in front of him. X is being bounced around. Just trying to throw it to X. I'm just trying to get the like ball out there to X, like way outside on the field, and really test like the pass lead left. Yeah, that's pass lead left with the 6. Alright. Some more challenging throws. Let's look at some route options. Double drag. Now they're going to be a nickel. Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 step drop. I'm not even trying to read it. I'm just trying to see ball placement. Like, hits the back step. Like, just where is the ball in general going, right? No pass lead or anything. Readjust. That felt a little sidearmy and nice without being like spammy. Good accurate toss. Okay, let the computer control it. There's the sidearm. Let's go. Computer threw the sidearm. There's the true sidearm. Whew. And the TD shot, huh? Except Jerry got caught from behind. Unrealistic. That's all computer throwing. Look at that position. Like, the receiver, like, forget the defender. Just where the receiver is running and then out in front and catching it on the numbers right here. Like, I know it's not physically on the numbers where the face mask is, but, like, literally the ball is landing right between that 8 and 4. Just press A. And Gannis still gets sacked. Just tap A. Just getting rid of it. I mean, sometimes that's just a decision to get rid of the ball. He was actually trying to scramble. Nice. He's getting sacked a lot. I like it. This one accuracy seems fine. Like, I'm not user throwing it, but it's the user-controlled computer, and there is that sidearm on the move instead of the back foot stuff, right? One accuracy seems to be enough, folks. Yeah, Jerry Porter did have a lot of potential, sir. Oh, yeah. What have I done in terms of the roster and naming? Like, since I fixed my Xbox. Yes, I have made the change. Teo Johnson was number 5 in the default roster. We'll talk about Teo Johnson in just a little bit. Steelers go Super Bowl. Should have Troy Polamalu, the unnamed player. So yeah, this has those adjustments. Yes, it still has my stupid ass Bo Jackson. Create a player. So, Denny and company, you're like, wait, what? I have an older video. I'm not proud of the video. I don't think it's very good. I think I could do a lot better. But I have a video where I'm like, let's make Bo Jackson. Let's get the equipment. And let's make him old Bo Jackson. Let's make him 40-year-old Bo Jackson. Like, if you have Jerry Rice is 40 years old, right? Bo Jackson would have been the same age, the exact same year, would have been 40. And I'm like, let's have an alternate universe, or whatever you want to call it, where the medical surgery, whatever, was in place that could help repair his hip or whatever, help him recover. He's not going to be the same self. But if Bo Jackson was Mr. 99 Speed, pre-injury, and he is Bo Jackson, just a super athletic human being, and if Jerry Rice in this game is considered to have 87 speed, but without injuries, where would you give this Bo Jackson can play football like skill set? Part of that video I said, part of the joke in the video said, Bo Jackson looks at the fact that Tyrone Wheatley is on a roster. And he's like, I could come back, I could work out, I could have surgery, I could put effort, and I could go out there and play better than Tyrone Wheatley in terms of speed and everything. I actually gave him lower awareness, even though he has awareness. Like, I'm just saying, like, where would you put him? I mean, obviously he didn't play in the league and all that, but it's like, I gave him the toughness, I gave him the low injury rating, the age and everything, and it's not really that low when you consider it. The stamina at the age and everything, and the, what else? Run block, whatever. But I gave him like a solid carry, not elite. Break tackle, it's still Bo Jackson, right? But he's not standing out as like a superstar stud. But just that idea of like, he's going to work out and he's going to get his body in shape, like the Herschel Walker kind of thing, when Herschel Walker came back, and Herschel Walker allegedly was like getting close to 50 years old, wasn't he? When he talked to the Dallas Cowboys about trying out again just to see if he could make a 53-man roster, and like the decision not to actually do it or whatever. But yeah, he perfectly fits that old team. Exactly, Asuka. I was like, and I had the video, and I'm like, yeah, let's have some fun with it. Let him be a backup. And just that idea, like, if you've got Tyron Wheatley on the team, then you can have Bo on the team. And then, yeah, just like the equipment made him as accurate to the equipment that he played with back in the day, that the game allows me to. And let him go out there and run. And I think he's, in some franchises, he stays to 41 years old, too. I think he plays like the year or the 2 years, whatever. And I'm pretty sure when he retired, he was 4 years pro. Like, he had a short career. So that's why he's literally 4 years pro despite the age. Right? The game says these years, or it doesn't have any stats or anything, obviously. You can't go in and plug in all the stats. But I don't think that's overpowered. Obviously, it's not real. Otherwise, he would have physically done it. But what do you think? Have you messed with the historic teams at all? Which game was it that let you actually adjust the historic teams' information? Was it this game? Do they have historic team raters when he was playing? 90? Yeah, and I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be Marcus Allen, but there's no way that this is Bo Jackson. I mean, like, it's Bo Jackson. It's 97 overall, 98 speed. Like, I get it. But also, like, they don't have any of the equipment correct or anything. They don't have the years pro, like 9 years pro and then 5 years pro, which is just not correct at all. Right? Right. Right, and just like the fact that you have to do so much editing for like what? You know, that was the issue. So some of that could be due to legal reasons, though. Oh no, it totally is legal reasons. I get it. But there's so much editing. It's like you have to be doing it for your favorite team, right? Like that's got to be the point. Right? You got to sit there. Like, I'm someone who literally named every single player in NCAA 2003. So, like, what's the big deal? And you can change the age and all of that. But you're like, okay, let's change the equipment and let's do Joe Montana, and then let's... Is that Joe Montana? Yeah, because then you got the speed here. And then you're like, information. And you're like, Steve Young. There you go, QB, like, with that. And then you gotta change the QB risks and all that other stuff. I might mess with it at some point, but it doesn't make, like, good TV. Right? What number was Wesley Walls? Because I'm pretty sure 85 was Wilson. And Wesley Walls, was he 86? 87, no? No, is this potentially Ed McCaffrey? And Wesley Walls? And, like, Wilson was one of the others? I don't remember right now. I think they might try to have this as Ed McCaffrey or something. I don't remember. 6'3" would make sense. It's probably Ed McCaffrey. Could we edit all-time teams to include the current players? That would be interesting. Do they have the all-times too? They have the classic. They have saved. Did I save this one? Did I actually legitimately save it? Yeah, I was messing with it just a tiny bit. Not even like the ages and stuff, right? Like, I was barely messing with this years ago, I guess. I didn't even get the face mask correct at the time. But I did put the names on the back, right? I didn't even do it very much, right? I hardly did it at all. So they must clearly have an all-time team. That could be something for fun. If we do that, and because there's just so many options. What is it? Default teams, save teams. Okay, so it's not going to be save teams. Oops. Default teams. Is the all at the bottom, I'm assuming? Yeah. Okay, so which one should we look at first? For Asuka, what are we doing? Like, 99 throw power tells me this has got to be Brett, right? Is this Bart Starr? And who's this? Right? If 97 is Bart Starr potentially, who's the other guy? Because I don't know well enough. And when and where would we... And who would we make on the list? Like, will we do Favre, Starr, and Rodgers, regardless of how we feel how Rodgers is right now? Like, I'm assuming that's the other guy we would put on the list. Right? Who are your all-time backs? Like, there's who the game thinks should be, and there's the all-time backs, right? It's interesting. Especially because you have, like, obviously the mid-90s back-to-back Super Bowl team, which is filled with lots of talent, and you probably have Reggie White out there. But you've also got, like, the 60s team, right? And what I think Denny is getting at, I think he said with modern players or whatever, it's kind of interesting to go here. Like, we obviously want to have probably Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, right? Because, like, that was a duo. So, what do? You obviously, like, you've got to have a battle, right? Between there, it looks like they're apparently saying the blonde bomber is a 99 overall, right? But they're not giving him the colors, right? Is that not it? Do you have him with the long hair in the back, the mullet look? Terra. Right? What is it? What do we do? I'm looking at it. It says, usually edited the names and numbers. The all teams might be at the bottom they were. The third QB might be Dickey. Yeah. Right. 60 teams were funky because some of the guys played multiple positions back then. Exactly. And where they're going to be rated at. Yeah, that looks like Bradshaw, right? I'm just reading the comments here. I go in and I say Terry Bradshaw 1976 generically. You got the balding head, but the long hair out the back of the helmet, that was like the idea, right? Okay, now I'm looking for face masks that would be relatively era appropriate. Now, obviously, you hear that weird one where it didn't like close at the top. Let me try maybe a little 1978 face mask. I'm just kind of like looking at some of the choices on my laptop right now. And equipment, like the generic 2-bar. Like they don't have like really old school equipment, you know. I think that's just what it's got to be, like the black 2-bar. It's you don't have like the kicker 2-bar. Like this is almost closer to him, right? Except the part at the top. And the opening should be a little bit wider out, right? It's not too bad, huh? The 2-bar thin. And then if you're doing all time, you have to have like Big Ben up there, right? I mean, just like Big Ben, you can't say no to that, right? You never take no for an answer there. At what point... This has got to be the bus, right? The bus and like Franco Harris in there somewhere? I mean, is Franco Harris technically a fullback? No? Like, wouldn't this be Franco? Am I wrong about that? Oh, yeah, no, we have to have Charlie Batch number 9. It's the third one. Absolutely, Asuka. I was thinking the same thing and you beat me to it. As soon as I switched over to the comments. Absolutely. Right? We got to do that. And that there it is. It's number 9. Right? Like, it's a done deal. Right? I don't remember the equipment they gave him, but just, there you go. Obviously. That would be fun. Oh my goodness, what would you do for Steelers wide receivers all time? Stallworth, Swan, Ward. I think Plexico Burris got even better as a Giant. But Brown, regardless of his mental health issues, was playing, had a period of 3 to 4 years where Brown was playing among the best wide receivers of all time. And I don't mean like a full career, but like he was on a trajectory. He was playing incredibly high level. Like, who would your list even be? It's kind of wild. And the same thing with your linebacker list. Right? And then what would your numbers be when some of them share numbers? And you've got your Levon Kirklands and Greg Lloyd and Kevin Green and obviously the 70s linebackers and Jack Ham and just so many guys. It would be tough. Guys couldn't even share numbers. There would be too many numbers. You have to make decisions. Either have the guy wear the wrong number or not have the guy on the team, and not to disrespect him, but someone's got to win out, especially on that defense, right? Yeah, we'd have to give you player lists. Oh, yeah, no, we're not doing it right now. It's just you could do it, and it is fun, and you can make the edits, so that's interesting. What else? There's a lot of things here. We can go to Play Now, Features, Game Modes, Franchise, New. You can load a historic team, right? We can take capers. Now, 03 is their first year, so this is only their second season. We go to training camp. We skip it because the computer can't do it. My game plan was to bench Carr year 1, let him even play in part of year 2. So Carr comes out like this. And we don't disagree at all. Jonathan Wells just didn't pan out. Like, imagine we ran our 2003 franchise, and we had our draft class, and we were able to get Andre Johnson, like, boom, 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 and everything panned out just like the NFL really did. Our 2003 franchise is over. The draft panned out with real-life players. The draft picks panned out exactly like they're going to pan out. That's why we're here right now. We're going into the next year. Right? Baselli is going to play, most likely. Pitts is here. Fred Reary, I really wanted him to pan out. Walker is a left end now, like we said before. He is a right end in the other game. Hill didn't really pan out so much. Right? Wong is a 74. Sharper and Foreman. Yeah, Foreman got the starting nod. Allsworth, or whatever his name, isn't even on the team anymore. This is an addition. Interesting. Yeah, Coleman and Glenn are still here. Yeah, they replaced, Ramon Walker was a rookie in last year's game, and they got an improvement here. What happened to Lewis? Greg Lewis was on the team. Apparently he's not on the team anymore. They kept Corey Bradford. And they've got Gaffney. Interesting stuff. Okay. Someone on GameFAQs made a historic roster guide, but didn't do the all-time teams. Okay, interesting. If you can find a link, if you're able to throw it in the chat or not, I can open it up and look at it. If I can also go to a new window and I can go Madden 2004 historic teams game FAQ guide. Madden 2000 historic team guide PlayStation 2, because it doesn't matter what it is. It says legal garbage, and then it says finished rosters, table of contents by teams. Then it says 1A88 Bears position number. Right? They've got position number name. But they don't do anything. And some players, like the 81 Bengals, have a whole bunch of like no numbers, a bunch of question marks. Not like we're trying to look to recreate the Bungles, but still. It has the 2001 Rams. I'm just scrolling through. I mean, it's better than not having it, that's for sure. Interesting nonetheless. But yeah, it doesn't have like height, weight, school. Like, we need to look up other things. But that's a good starting point for sure. 100% for sure, especially what the intended players were. Okay, so we go coaching options. Go to a 4-3 defense. Or stick with the 3-4 just because it's simulation. Simulate the preseason. I'd use it and Pro Football Reference. Yeah, PFF and all that stuff is good. View progression for our team. David Carr got a little bit better. Across the entire team, you just scroll and you're like, yeah, Carr got better by an overall. Some other players got some skills. Chester Pitts got a little bit better. Jonathan Wells got a little bit better. Morin Norris, future 49ers on this team. Okay, Fred Reary. Okay. Advance the regular season. Play week. Roster. Injury report. Out for season. Place on injured reserve. We've got 4 outside linebackers. We got 6 linebackers, so we're not going to sign someone. Simulate the week. Like, we're going GM mode. We have no control over what happens on the field. Game day. I think this is the game where you get the game reports. Yes! You get the game reports. 13-10. So, we took a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Miami matched us, but we took a 3-point lead. So 10-7 going into halftime. They tie the score up, and then we get a fourth quarter field goal. Scoring summary, we get on the board first with 8:09 left in the quarter. So early on. Then we get the field goal. Okay, so the order of the kick is we actually took a 10-point lead early in the second. Then they scored with 6 left in the half and then 3 left in the half. No, where is... Oh, Miami touchdown, extra point, good, right? Yeah, okay, third quarter, right. So 6 left in the half and then 3 left in the third. And then we scored the game-winning field goal early in the fourth and just held them out, I guess. Some things to be aware of. David Carr, 100 yards passing. That's what I'm talking about. We just don't get that in 2003. Now, it's a simulation mode. But like 100 yards passing, 129 yards passing. Like, not a very good quarterback day. A touchdown, a couple picks. Tony Banks had to come in. He only threw 58 yards. Right, he got a pick. There were 3 picks on the game. Rushing, 4.1 yards per carry. Jonathan Wells, 2.8. We had 22 attempts by our 2 main backs, and then some other guys tried running the ball. David Carr ran the ball a little bit. Ricky Williams had 154 yards rushing, a 6.7, and 23 attempts. So the good running back had good stats. Corey Bradford, Andre Johnson only got 2 targets in his first game as a rookie for 9 yards, or at least 2 catches. I don't know how many targets. They have their team here. And then vice versa. I mean, obviously, what are we doing on defense against this? Ricky Williams puts up 154 yards on us, and some other players add some yards. Our pass defense was good enough, I guess, and we won. So that's what we get pulling out without any coaching changes. And then we go to injury report, right? And no other changes. Comment section. My brain gears are spinning on this one. I'll do a Steelers list and put it on Discord. That's the question, Denny. Do you want to just do the Madden 04's version, or do you want to do an all-time? It will be a lot of fun. And don't rush to necessarily have it out tomorrow, right? It would be an interesting conversation at the least. Because any player that existed after this game, after the 2003 season, we'd have to go somewhere and start dipping around to find ratings, right? Now, we can get some ratings from more modern Maddens, right? But I don't want to get ratings from Madden Ultimate Team, right? Madden Ultimate Team is ridiculous. I think they made they just give 99 to anyone at any position, whatever. They're just mutt. It's not a reliable place to find in Madden 19 the rating was this. It's you're just going to find mutt stuff. I know you know that, but we're on the same page, I think. So, no other injuries, nothing else to look for there. Texans, Saints. They outrank us by a little bit. Simulate our game. We lose 27-10. How did we do overall? David Carr was healthy, 179 passing, a touchdown and an interception, 63%. Jonathan Wells was apparently the starting back here, 2.9 yards per carry. We're not getting very many carries. We're not terrible in run defense, but they're just a better football team, and we take the L, and we go to week number 2. Kansas City is a better football team than us, and we lose by 9. So more than a 1-point game, or 1.1 score game. Carr, 2 touchdowns and a pick. He's showing improvements. Under 300 yards throwing, but decent. Running game still is not very good. And the better teams are winning, right? We have a more even matchup here. And a 1-2 team. And no other injuries so far to speak of, knock on wood. And we get the W, 14-7. So we're a 2-win team here. And David Carr, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. 277 last game, 276 this game. Still do not have a running attack. 4 weeks in, we're 2-2 going through the bye. And the trade deadline is week 6. I want to save here. Oh, we've got some test franchises. Okay, doesn't matter. Because that's exactly what this is going to be. So it does. I don't care whatever those were. Those were probably the test franchises I made other videos on. Okay. Yeah, it says, yeah, screw Mutt. Would it be for the individual year teams or the all-time teams? You said you like an all-time Steeler roster, including some modern names like Cam Hayward and T.J. Watt. Yeah, of course. And then it says, obviously some good players get left out to make a 53-man roster. And that's, like I said, the question on the side is, do you let players out because their number's not available? Like, that's a cheesy reason to be let out. Like, then who wears the number? Like, who cares about the number, Paul? We got to have the players. Yeah, I get it. But, like, if you're going to field the team, it's kind of fun to, like, have, like, the correct numbers and to just argue, like, yeah, this player could start, but this player's the better number of wearing 99 or whatever. You're like, oh, well, this guy's going to wear 92. Like, is it going to be Jason Gilden or is it going to be Jerome Harrison, right? Because they're both really good. Like, to me, I think there's at least a little bit of fun whenever you've got multiple players wearing the same number. After all, like, if you've got the 49ers and you're like, here's Bosa and here's Bryant Young, like, sorry, Bosa, but I'd probably go with Bryant Young. Not just probably, but, like, the only thing that would give me hesitation is we don't have, like, a ton of great defensive ends, especially, like, a 4-3 style. But if you're saying who's going to wear number 97, it's going to go with the Hall of Famer and the great defensive tackle. Because I think we have more defensive ends to choose from than we do defensive tackles. Like, it's really, for the Niners, it's Michael Carter and Dana Stubblefield and Bryant Young. And obviously, I'm a big fan of Buckner. But Buckner was traded away and didn't get a chance to play a more of a full career with the Niners and all of that. We had Ted Washington in his rookie year. Like, we drafted him and had him for a short time before moving on. But yeah, it's like, if you got to choose, who would you choose? I think that's interesting. And then continue, and it says, I might make a Packers list, says Asuka, though I don't know if I'd put any modern players on the list. I'd like that house rule. I'd like that as a house rule tiebreaker. Exactly. Because when you have so many good players to choose from, it's like, sorry you got cut, but this guy's the better number, so we still have plenty of other players that could represent that position. Right. Select data, hard disk, overwrite. It doesn't have to have any modern players if they don't belong. Yeah, if they don't belong, they don't belong. It's just like some teams have had really good, more modern years, right? I mean, Asuka, your Packers. Okay, here's another thing. Side conversation. I know we're not going to do a 32-team version of this. Do players not have the opportunity to be locked into their most famous team or team they're most famous for? Is Randy Moss locked to the Raiders? Is he locked to the Patriots? Not Raiders, what am I saying? Stupid. The Vikings, where he became, like, super famous? Is he locked to the Patriots, where he played in a Super Bowl and had a record-breaking year? I would say, like, does a player have to get locked? And if so, like, because Deion Sanders would probably get locked with Dallas. He was super famous with the Falcons. He had the one Super Bowl year with the Niners, and then he was, like, Mr. Dallas, right? Like, I would think that Deion Sanders gets locked to Dallas. Like, Ronnie Lott doesn't get to go with the Raiders or the Jets, right? Like, he gets to be a 49er forever, right? I think there's certain players where it's like, where does he go? And that becomes the question, Asuka. Won a Super Bowl with Green Bay. Is Reggie White hard locked to the Eagles? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say you can't use Reggie White. Of course you can. And he won a ring with them. But, like, Reggie White was an Eagle. And, like, him being in the free agent was, like, turned the NFL on its head. Like, that was a big changing moment. So that stuff is interesting. Do we hard lock players to specific teams when they're famous for multiple teams? And by that, I also mean, I don't mind if you take Reggie White, but you don't get Charles Woodson, bro. Like, Charles Woodson is Raider for life. Even though he wasn't Raider for life. You know what I mean? You don't get to just put, like, oh, here's Charles Woodson, our safety, or whatever. Like, no. He's Raider hard locked. Like I would say, Steelers Rod Woodson. Thing is, Rod Woodson, man, bro, he had a Hall of Fame career as a corner, and then he went on and had a Hall of Fame career as a safety. Right? Ravens and Raiders. It was, like, fantastic. But I would say Rod Woodson, like, you don't get to go to the Raiders. You don't get to go to the Ravens. And the Ravens are fine. Like, the Ravens are like, we'll take Ed Reed. I mean, could you have Rod Woodson and Ed Reed, like, as your safeties, you know? Like, the Ravens fans would want that. But I would say he's hard locked to the Steelers. You know, I don't get... Like, Rod Woodson was a 49er for 1 year, so he can... Deion Sanders and Rod Woodson are corners. Lolo, with Pat and Richard Sherman. Oh, no. Fuck out of here. No. We're going to have to, like, do it with the corners that we have. You know? Like, that's what I feel. You say, yeah, Woodson isn't locked to the Steelers for me. That's fine. Like, you guys disagree and you want to set the rules that way, like, I'll follow along. It's just, that's kind of what I feel like if you're, like, looking at multiple teams. It's like, well, we're going to have a franchise where Charles Woodson is both on the Raiders and the Packers. So when they play against each other, there's clone Charles Woodsons, right? So, I don't know. Because if Woodson isn't locked to the Steelers, then, yep, give me Deion Sanders and give me Rod Woodson as my corners. And Richard Sherman. Put Deion Sanders in the slot and give me Richard Sherman and Rod Woodson on the outside and Deion covering anyone else inside that tries to make all those Wes Welker plays. And Deion will just lock him up. And Deion will say, no, let me cover that half of the field. Okay, fine, then I'll put Richard Sherman on the other side and he's happy to play zone. You know, he'll do whatever. Right? Famous Texan Ed Reed. Yep. Patrick, great to have you back in the chat. Let's go play week. So the reason why I saved is I don't think that we're a team that's like looking to make a playoff push. We're not a team that's looking at like an 0-4 Cardinals, you know, or an 0-3 Cowboys. Like, especially the Cowboys are not a team to do this, but like, are we looking at the Cardinals as an 0-4 team that's trying to fire sale like a 4 or 5 year player, like a player that's like going to be on their 5th year extension? I know the collective bargaining agreement and stuff are not like it right now, but the other guy, like, it's on the last year of their contract and they're going to flip him or whatever and get value. Like, this is where like the fire sales start to happen, right? Let's look at standings real quick. Like, even if we're not a team that's going to be a buyer, it's always fun to me to look at that point of the year, which we haven't done in our other franchise yet. Where is it? Owner's box, don't care. Coaching options management, don't care. Stat book, individual career team, rankings, coach, no. League news updates. Oh, they have the horse trailer player. Yeah, remember then that was a thing. Where does it show their standings? Wow, it's in play week? Wow. Okay. Steelers don't go to Super Bowl. I mean, remember, they had their draft pick. They needed Big Ben to come in and do something. Steelers do not strike me as a fire-sailing team. Bills, Bengals, Ravens don't strike me as a fire-sailing team. Jags. Bills, Bengals, Jags could be. We're in the AFC, so more likely to find an NFC fire sale team. Eagles are 0-3. I don't think the Eagles are giving up on their season in fire sailing, but like Arizona, Bears, Cowboys don't seem. Bears, Cardinals. Bears, Cardinals, Panthers. Like, Bears are not going to fire sale Brian Urlacher or Mike Brown. I don't think that they are a team that would do it. Bengals, like, they're not going to get rid of Palmer and Dillon. They will get rid of Dillon later. Like, literally the next year, they'll let Dillon go to New England. But right now, at this point of the year, and we're not a playoff team, like, I could see Dillon being put on the block, right? But that would also be in a world where we raise Rudy Johnson up to a status where he more likely belongs. 2-year pro Chad Johnson, like Ocho Stinko, as you would say. I don't think you're fire selling 2J Hushman-Zeta. Maybe a Peter Warrick if he wasn't on the injured list. A 26-year-old adding a wide receiver could be on the fire sale block, right? With like his cap hit and everything. If you're a competitor and you can add Peter Warrick. Willie Anderson, maybe, maybe not. You're not trying to like. You're not really fire sailing against your rookie quarterback though, and like giving your weapon away. Like, if you're the Bengals and TJ is better than a 70 overall, and you've got a young rising Chad Johnson and TJ Hushman-Zeta, and you're losing games, and you've got these extra receivers, and you've got this contract, and someone offers you something, I could see a Peter Warrick fire sale. I could see a few different things like that. Let's go into the comments. Miles Dawkins did a Cardinals franchise series. He's lost control of the team because they went too much into debt due to low attendance. And then Denny's going to bed. Awesome. Sleep it off, man. Like, it'll be great to see you again. I've been enjoying my day off for Teacher's Day. Teacher's Day was officially yesterday, but because it's Sunday, they extend the day off to be today. So I enjoyed it. I'm back to work tomorrow. You'll catch whatever you missed over coffee. Really like the look of this to 03. Yeah, I agree. I don't want to completely abandon 03, but I think we've, as I said, Denny, if you're listening to this right now or when you're having coffee, I think we tried to squeeze as much blood from that stone as we possibly could, and I don't know if there's much more to get out of it. I think one of the final nails in the coffin to 03 is that idea of it was really fun to play human versus human. Computer versus computer and human versus computer, less so. Right? So I've got a lot of nostalgia for it. I really liked it, but it's just not holding up. So these are the kinds of things that I like to look at. You know, things that take time, like off the clock, like, okay, move on with it. But these are the story building moments. When you're sitting at, 3-1, 4-0, and there's another team that's 0-4 or 1-3, and you're in the bye week, like, especially because that's where we are as the Texans, right? Like, we're 2-2. We're not buyers. We could potentially say, hey, get another weapon for Carr. We've got Andre Johnson. We're happy with Bradford. We have Gaffney. So we've got young weapons. We've got Gaffney. I'm not saying Gaffney's going to be great, but, like, we've got Bradford. We've got a young Gaffney. We've got Andre Johnson. Like, we have weapons. So are we trying to get Peter Warrick and a fourth wide receiver? Not really. Like, are we trying to make a move to get Corey Dillon on our team before New England can go and get him? Corey Dillon would probably have a trade clause or something, a no-trade clause, whatever. I would say no to going to the Texans. But also, that's really one thing we've seen in our games is we're missing a running back. And if there's a disgruntled Corey Dillon, just like there was in real life, do you make the move? And maybe at the end of week 5, but go into week 6. But the bye is where you get a chance to like practice with said player and get a medical clear or something. Remember like how the Colts moved off of Marshall Faulk and he went to the Rams? You know, like Corey Dillon literally left the team, so he's also like a real life player that we know that we move on from. That's a position. The tight end position is also interesting. if we go rosters, view rosters, not just Bengals, all NFL, tight ends. Like, Tony Gonzalez would eventually move on to Atlanta, as we know. Too young to really make decisions. I don't see Shannon Sharp being like a fire sale list. And the Broncos are trying to make a run with him. Marcus Pollard, no. Like, to some extent, it's like, no, this just isn't going to happen. Rest in peace, Frank Wycheck. If there's other players that I need to say rest in peace with, let me know. But I know Frank Wycheck. I don't know if there's really any fire sale tight ends that are worth mentioning. And then we've got an 81 overall, which isn't bad. Like, when you look at the entire list, it's not like we're in desperate need of that position either. In terms of weapons for David Carr, I really think getting Falk away from the Rams when they try to get Steven Jackson, which would be this year, like, this Steven Jackson is with the Oregon State Beavers, and then he'll get drafted the next year. Trying to rip Marshall Falk away would be a weapon that would make sense. The Dolphins landed Ricky Williams instead of us, right? Like, he's with Miami for 2 years, right? So, like, he was with Miami before our franchise even existed, right? Yeah, no, he could have been a first-year player with us, like our first year as a team. He could have been with us, but Miami, he signed with them smartly. Chiefs. Yeah, Chiefs have rookie Larry Johnson. He did wear 27 as a rookie, but I gave him number 27. You're not going to get Larry Johnson, the rookie, from Kansas City. It's just not going to happen. He's also not that great of a player here by the overall rating. And you're not going to pull Priest Holmes away from them. Right? Like, at best, if you have Larry Johnson as a hidden 96, that's just buried on the depth chart as a rookie or whatever, or 92, you know what I mean? Like, if he was, like, rated as he should be, as the backup to Holmes, with just, like, waiting for his chance to shine, like, Holmes could be another, like, oh, you've got the young guy behind him, we'll fire sale you, maybe not this year or next year. But that's what this Texans team really needs, right? Like, obviously they need an offensive line. We all know that. But yeah, both safety positions, help at the linebacker, defensive line, offensive line, they need a lot of help. But if you're talking about helping the quarterback in a fire sale, no one's just like, I'm going to sell my right tackle to you, right, in the middle of the year. That's not the big sexy trade. It's usually the corners, you know, the Jalen Ramsey guys, or the safeties, like what the Steelers picked up, like Minkah Fitzpatrick. Like, you get those kinds of trades and deals, right? Offensive linemen usually move teams in the offseason, right? A defensive end, a corner, a safety, a pass rusher usually, like some kind of edge pass rusher, and weapons tend to be the fire sale moves. So anyway, week 5, week 6, like at the end of week 4, at the end of week 5 is when we do that. But we're not in position to do that. I've talked enough about it, but maybe understand it for a future video. And now, simulate the game. And the Titans, 3-3, absolutely throttle us. Can we still look up the old... Yeah, okay. Then after a while, it dumps the matchup. Right? We're going to check injuries. Jets are just better than us. And we win. We go to 3 wins. How much better? Yeah, the Titans were equally better than us, but yet we pull off a win against one and a loss against the other. Surprise win against the Jets. Then we have the Colts. Week 8. We're finally playing our division rivals. Right? Probable. And they're 3-3, and we're going to the Colts 3-3. And we pull off the win against the 3-3 Colts. They can't have Peyton Manning, right? They do have Peyton Manning, How are they this bad? 3 touchdowns and an interception. Carr rips off 4 tutties. 4 tutties, no picks, because the Colts have no defense, right? We don't even have a running game. 11 carries, 3.5 yards. 6 carries, 2.8 yards. Edgerrin James only had 3 carries. Did Edge get hurt? That could be the big issue right there. They had to go with Dominic Rhodes. How did we beat them? And then Asuka said, 03 gave us batch magic. Can't go against that. How's the free agent market? I mean, yeah, I know it doesn't matter anymore. I don't usually like doing free agent moves. The only free agent moves I like to do are before the season starts, setting up the roster as close to the week 1 roster as possible because the computer doesn't know any better, and just getting a week 1 roster. And I usually only like going to free agency when we have injuries and we're so depleted that we have to fill it out. I don't think I've really locked up where all of these players are supposed to go. It's like, well, why don't we add the 83 overall cornerback and another good offensive lineman? Some of these players either retired and didn't actually play. Other ones went to other teams. So, like, I just try to have some week 1 stuff good to go the best I can. Terry Kirby and the Madden 03 run with Oakland. Let's go. So that's like a big issue. It's like, oh, just get all the 79, 80 overall offensive linemen because we suck. Yeah, like there's a 78 and we got a 71 strong safety, so get Blaine Bishop and get, like, anyone should do that. Like, either he retired or he should be on another team. So that's why I usually don't do that year 1. Then after that, the sky's the limit. Like, once we get through year 1, like, I have no qualms about hitting free agency. Right? But here we are. Wow. You'd always sign Antonio Freeman and Gilbert Brown back to match in real-life events. Well, it just so happens. Maybe it's 03 that I was playing earlier. I put Gilbert Brown back on the team. And Antonio Freeman was an Eagle for only the 1 year. Yeah, Antonio Freeman was only for the 1 year. Donald Driver needs so much love in Madden 03. I think he's like a 71 or a 76 or something. And I don't know what's going on here. Is he in this game? Yeah, he is. Maybe that's why you mentioned it. Yeah, that's why I said I can tell that I probably haven't adjusted it. And also look at the cap penalty room, whatever. Like the total contract. Like if you just straight sign him up, he might like break the Packers cap room. Because like it's only like 1.8 a year or whatever. I don't know. Like some of it, there isn't like cap space. And then if you mess with the cap too much, like you actually get, like it turns the salary cap off for franchise mode. It's kind of real weird. But yeah, I don't think I've messed with the roster in too much detail in this game, which is something I like to do before I do it serious franchise mode. But we're 4-3. Let's go. And we've got a close home game in terms of like 82 overall versus 80 overall against the Panthers. And we win that one too. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but in free agency, like in franchise mode, yes. But if I'm just adjusting the roster, like I go to the default roster and sign players, it's whatever contract the game gives it, which are often, I think, like 3-year deals or something. I don't know if they're all 1-year deals. I don't think they are. Can we beat the Bengals on the road? We do. I don't know what the Texans' second year in the league looked like, but it probably wasn't 6-3 going into Week 11. Should lose to the Bills. Here we are in November. And we do. Getting 6 wins means we're probably not going to get fired, and we're going to have a chance to really do something with our team. Game of the week is Sunday afternoon. Patriots coming to us. Okay, sure. It must be a pretty bad week if we're the game of the week, right? We should get smoked. Not smoked, but we won? We won? We won? Tom Brady 0-0 touchdowns and interceptions. David Carr 2 and a pick. We won. 2003 Texans 5 wins. We're at 7. We're 2 over. And we beat New England. The game of the week apparently was true, huh? 7-win team versus a 9-win team. Like, we're not going to deal with tiebreakers, but we live in the realm of possibility where tiebreakers and having a home playoff game versus them, especially after beating the Colts already. No, the Colts beat us. No, we beat the Colts already? Jeez. Well, we've got the Falcons at home. We've got Michael Vick. And we lost 41-17. That's more like it. Sharper. Jamie Sharper. Babe? Yep. Babe. Babe. Give me more. Yeah, the microphone's on. Oh, you want me to mute the microphone? Oh, I can mute the microphone. That's what I could do if I click this button. All right. And we are back. Okay, 7 weeks. That's going to hurt us. That's pretty much the season. Right? What's the math with that? Week 14, so 4 weeks. Wild card 5. Divisional 6. Championship game 7. He'll be back for the Super Bowl. So I'm not going to put him on injured reserve. But he's pretty much only going to be back for the Super Bowl, which we're not going to make. So, like, it is the end of the season. Slightly worse than the Jags. And we lost a game that were slightly worse, 0 complaints, because we won games we had no business winning. We're already 2 games over the real life. Tampa Bay is much better than us, obviously, and they're defending Super Bowl champions. And we get smacked around. Titans rematch, right? Because we played them earlier this year, and we got smacked around. Now we're hosting them. And we're on a 4-game losing streak without our lead defensive player, Sharper. And now the Colts revenge game. And they do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game losing streak. Losing season. 7-9, still 2 above real life. Shouldn't get fired. Okay, Orochi Alter. Here is your Bills Patriots. And Bills win. Wow, Patriots dropped against the Texans and then lost This is the year the Patriots would go on to win the Super Bowl, right? This is after the Bucks Raiders Super Bowl. This would be Patriots Panthers Super Bowl in real life. They fail. 49ers Seahawks. 49ers get a W against a division rival with a home wild card playoff game. That means 3 teams in the NFC West, right? Because that means Rams must have won the division, right? If Niners and Seahawks are here? No, if the Niners are home, that means they won the division, right? So the Rams didn't do anything? Is that what that means? NFC. Falcons, Packers, Giants, Seahawks. Wait, what? Seahawks are at 49ers? But it says Seahawks had the 4 seed? What the fuck? How do the Niners have the 7 seed and the Seahawks at 49ers? What the fuck? If you're the 4 seed, you're supposed to be... Okay, that's not good. The game doesn't even know the standings? Like, who's supposed to be playing where? Seriously? Clinched the divisional title and they had to go to the wild card Niners? Are you kidding me? I'm racking my brain at that. Eagles, the Super Bowl, like not Super Bowl, but the division. No, yeah, the conference losers, right? 6-9, and they made the playoffs. We are 7-9. How are they 6-9? Weren't we 7-9? They have but they don't have a tie. What the hell are we looking at? No, 8-8, 9-6, 6-9. Yeah, okay, no. I thought we were 7-9. Yeah, we're 7-9. How the fuck? How the fuck can you be 6 and? There's 16 games. How the fuck are you 9-6? How do you not play a football game? How do you have 15 games? How the fuck do you have 15 games? How do you have 15 games? How are we in the wild card and week 16? What? I thought we were in the wild card. Oh, I am retarded. I don't like to use that word, but I am. Wow. Okay. You're probably yelling at me. You're still in week 17. Oh my god. Yeah. Talk about it. Yeah, you're just watching me in embarrassment. Talk about me needing to go to bed. Oh my god, you're shouting it in the chat and I'm just like looking at it finally. Yeah. I have the big R on my forehead. Oh my god. There we go. Live, folks. It's live TV. Jets at Browns. Okay. Oh my god. I could just laugh at myself, not angry at myself. Whatever, it is what it is. That's awesome. Okay. Jets and Brownies. Okay, Browns is going to Browns, right? Rams, Packers. We all know what's going to happen here, right? We did know! The game is going to favor the greatest show on turf. You know that. Touchdown, then field goal, then, yeah, all of that. Field goal, tutty-tutty. Fourth quarter. But you can't blame Tom Capers. 2 touchdowns on a pick. 200 something versus 290. 5 carries by Marshall Falk. 5 carries. Okay. Wow. Madden 2004 and the Raiders didn't go undefeated and win the Super Bowl. Mark this as rare. Before Dineshise did his Madden 04 Raiders franchise, I simulated, I think on my channel, but I don't know if I kept it, Raiders went undefeated and won Super Bowl. And then he simulated and Raiders went undefeated and won Super Bowl. Mark it down, 5 losses, including a playoff loss. Mark it down, folks. And Tampa Bay gets the win against Seattle, right? Pats would go to the Super Bowl, simulate game. They're on their way. Not to the big thing, but to the championship. Rams, Falcons. Falcons knock them off, really. The Michael Vick Falcons show. Now, are they going to simulate Vick's running? Vick, 73 yards on 5 carries. They do simulate Vick running. Chargers make the playoffs. So, Madden 02. Madden 02, they have the number 1 pick in the draft. They traded it away to the Falcons. Falcons make the playoffs 2 years later. Chargers use it to get LaDainian Tomlinson, and they would later use the number 1 pick in a later round, I think the 3rd round, to get Drew Brees. Madden 2002, still like, or not Madden 2002, Madden 2003, still some of the worst teams in the entire game. Madden 2004, 3 years after being the first overall pick and trading for the first overall pick, the video game has them in the playoffs in the divisional round. Talk about a team turnaround, right? And wins. Both teams are going to their respective conference championships from 2 years being removed from being some of the worst in the league. Now that is league parity working at its best. And Tampa Bay, the defending Super Bowl champions, will also go. The South rises. You've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defending Super Bowl champions at the Michael Vick show. And you have a real-life Chargers-Patriots, but this time it's at New England in Foxborough. That is something else, huh? I always see Bucks Raiders Super Bowl as the Miles Dawkins Madden 04 videos. Yes. Oh, you mean they come up over and over and over and over again? Yeah, they do, because, I mean, they were really great teams, right? I mean, they made the Super Bowl for a reason. Do they keep doing it even after a rebuild? I don't know. Man, if I had the sliders set up and everything, this would be a hell of a game to watch, right? Like the Brady Patriots at home against Breeze and Tomlinson. They don't have Seau anymore. And this is the year that Rodney Harrison... Is this the game where Rodney Harrison and Lawyer Malloy are both Patriots? Because Lawyer Malloy hadn't yet gone to the Bills, I think. But did I make the movement or not? I probably didn't, because I'm a piece of crap. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I don't give a care. Fuck you. Rodney Harrison and Lawyer Malloy was such a dream, bro. When you bought this disc at the midnight release and you brought it home and you put it in the disc, you put the disc in your GameCube. Fuck, man. And you saw Rodney Harrison and Lawyer Malloy, and you're just like, bro, how do the Patriots not win the Super Bowl? You literally have Ty Law, Rodney Harrison, and Lawyer Malloy. Like, 2 enforcers at safety. Well, we have a free safeties, a roaming safety. Fuck out of here. Right? Like, you literally have a weak and a strong side safety between the field and the boundary on the left side, on the right side. The fact that either could come up, and they both are safeties that could play middle of the field and could also come up and be enforcers. That you could be an enforcer against the left side and the right side, and you didn't have to be a Troy Polamalu, like, coming up in the box to have to do it. Like, you only have one guy, then you know Ryan Clark's always going to be, like, up top. The fact that either of them could be the enforcer is so ridiculous. Like, I don't know the exact story of why Lawyer Malloy wanted to go to the Bills. Like, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think there was the whole, like, being the top dog in town and knowing that there was another, like, alpha male, whatever kind of guy right there. I don't know, like, if he could handle it. Because I know that he was, like, demanding to move. Like, I don't know if he took, like, the Rodney Harrison signing as, like, a threat to his job. But it's just on paper, it's just, that's so ridiculous. They should have been, like, to me, like, putting the game in the disc before the trade happened was like, how are these guys not just, like, the best buddies? 36, 37, just wrecking havoc. Like, how is that not the case? And then hearing Malloy went to the Bills was like, what? Antoine Smith, Falk, Brown, Patton, Branch, like young Branch, young Daniel Graham, McGinnis, Seymour. Yeah, see, they're doing the 3-4 defense, but they haven't moved McGinnis to outside linebacker. Yeah, this is a video game where you're not allowed to change their positions yet. Yeah, like 03, you can't change their positions, but you also can't change their position. Oh, you're not controlling that team. No, it doesn't matter. You can't change their positions yet. So, that's one of the things that this Patriots team is, I think, a 3-4 defense. Yeah, with Ted Johnson and Teddy Bruschi. Yeah, they still not giving Vrabel the credit that he deserves yet. Where Willie McGinnis is an outside linebacker, right? And you've got Seymour and Hamilton. No, Seymour and Pleasant with their defensive tackle, Ty Warren. But Vrabel outside and Rosie Colvin. I think Rosie Colvin is coming from the the Bears. Rosie Colvin just did not pan out. Vrabel gets the start. I think Teddy Johnson is the backup. I think Roman Pfeiffer gets moved inside the middle linebacker. They have the two middle linebackers. They've got like Vrabel, Bruschi, Pfeiffer, and the other outside linebacker of the four is McGinnis. And I think Rosie Colvin was the overrated, overpaid linebacker that they just like spent too much and didn't do anything and didn't even get the starting job and never panned out regardless of his rating. And he was backing up with Ted Johnson. I'm pretty sure that's the way it went down. But you can't adjust that. And you're like, just show who wins! It's interesting. You have Marcus Wiley, 92 overall. Riley Johnson is injured, though. But yeah, Jamal Williams is 5 years pro. You know, in Madden 02? Yeah, Madden 02, it's his second year, you know, and he's not rated nearly as high, but now he's getting the attention he deserves. So him and Fisk and Marcus Wiley, really good three-down linemen. Like, they've had them this whole time. I think Madden 02, they still had him, right? No, he was at Tennessee. Right, but they just got this like stacked defensive line, and like they're missing Seau, but they added Donnie Edwards, and now they have Randall Godfrey. Oof. Yeah, that's why the 3-4 defense. But then you have the outside linebacker or whatever you want to call it. Right, you're playing the 4-3. Right, you're playing the 4-3 with Marcus Wiley and all these defensive tackles and stuff, and then you're moving Godfrey to like right outside linebacker. And then I don't know what you have for left outside linebacker. And Quentin Jammer is young and playing well. They have Corey Lassiter and McNeil. Interesting, but they've got injuries. Interesting. Yeah, law and lawyer enforce the law back then. Exactly. I thought the law and the law won. A heck of a ball game, folks. And the fact that Randall Godfrey is not even going to be on the field, I don't think, because he's the backup middle linebacker, is not fair. That would be, with adjusted sliders, I want to save this. Like as another one. Come on. There it is. If we can figure out sliders, that would be a fun championship game series to watch, right? Falcons going Super Bowl. They didn't have to face the Eagles. Algie Crumpler didn't get blown up by Brian Dawkins. And the Falcons get a home win and go back to the Super Bowl after the 1998 Super Bowl embarrassment. The team crumbles. 99, 2000, a couple bad years. They make a trade. They go and get Michael Vick. They rebuild the team for 2001, 2002, and now in the 2003 season, Vick is not hurt like he would be in real life. What a disappointment to not be able to see him play in the year 2003. A healthy Michael Vick comes out, wins the division, hosts a playoff game, and gets a W. And doesn't even have a rushing touchdown in the game. Rushing. And also, by the way, Warwick Dunn, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, playing against his previous team. Michael Vick, 88 yards in the sim. He performs better in the simulation than actually watching the game play out. 88 yards on 6 carries. It simulated him doing well. And it's Patriots Falcons instead of Patriots. Instead of Patriot, because I guess the Falcons was the next year, right? It was the Falcons. Eagles was the following year, so I'm 1 year off. But it should be Panthers Patriots, but they don't know that the Panthers are actually good, and the Panthers didn't even have a real chance this year, right? Like, they were underrated. Blanked them. Wow, 15-0 them. 4 interceptions by Drew. Tomlinson must have been hurt, only 12 carries. His long was 10 yards. Blanked them. Arthur blanked them. 85 and 86 overall is our Super Bowl, folks. Who do you think won? 2023 Super Bowl, exactly, before it happened. Oh! 27-10. 3-3. 13. 20. Okay, it was never 27-3. It was never 27-3 because Dean Branch got the touchdown before that. Wow. The cover boy, to no surprise. I mean, it is a surprise. It should be the Raiders. But to no surprise, the cover boy comes through. And the game simulates only 4 carries for 23 yards. Michael Vick wins the Super Bowl. Yes, let's import the draft class. Oh, we can't? Oh, we knew that was going to happen. Okay. So, Texans balance sheet. Total assets, $15.1 million. Income, $120. Expenses, $105. I didn't do anything. Are we going to lose money over the years, or are we going to be fine? Off-season menu. Go to staffing. Okay. Coaches, all we need are special teams. Hey, Gary Kubiak. In an imaginary world, he could be the Texans coach, right? Oh, what? Unemployed. In NFL, assistants, targets, unemployed. Who do they have in the NFL in terms of other positions? Obviously, Kubiak and Tressman, Monty Kiffin, legendary Johnson, rest in peace. Ray Rose. There's a lot of rest in pieces there, obviously. Bro, his name is Jim Schwartz. Like, his name is Jim Schwartz. Like, how did he not get picked on as a kid? His name is Jim Schwartz. Like, in PE, everyone go get your gym shorts. I know it's Schwartz, but seriously, how did he not always get picked on? Yeah, Kevin Gilbride and all of that. Falcons' future coach. Like, it's interesting to see the coordinators who would later get positions in the future. Lovie Smith with the Bears coming up. Right? Leslie Frazier. Jim Mora. Vic Fangio. Yeah, may the Schwartz be with you. Yeah, Vic Fangio is our defensive coordinator. Let's go. It's such a much younger Vic Fangio, right? Romeo Crennel. Oof. Norv Turner. Mike Nolan, future Niner coach, right? Have you heard of this guy before? With that, has he got a mustache going on here, or is it just the shading? Bruce Arians, get a shot someday. Nap. Special teams. You need a special teams guy. You're a special teams guy. Oh, it's only for head coach. Yeah, that's nice. The game forces you to only promote instead of cross-hire. Interesting. Sean Payton. Interesting. I love the fact that these guys are in here. Fuck you. Singletary. Get a famous rant going. Tom Rathman was a running backs coach for quite some time. Marty Morningwig. Dick LeBeau. Steve Spurrier Jr. Brian Schottenheimer. Interesting. Like, it matters, but it doesn't matter. Coordinator, special teams. I mean, we need special teams. We know there's the whole offensive coordinator thing. Modern Madden doesn't even have coordinators. All they got is a generic placeholders. Yeah. I mean, not just Modern Madden. Like Madden 14. Madden 12. Like, this was just a PS2 feature that I, as far as I know and remember. Maybe Madden 12 had it? But I don't think so. One of the Madden games, I think, still had Kyle Shanahan and all that. But I want to say Kyle Shanahan and Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, was like Madden 08 or something like that. Retired players. Raiders. The list is Raiders and then other players. Gannon, Woodson, Rice, Romanowski, Brown. Your wide receivers, your quarterback, your safety, your linebacker, and your backup quarterback. Right? Texans are too young to have any. I said it in my rant before, this is the heart of franchise mode as opposed to just a series of play now games, right? The players get older. Their contracts get 1 year later down the list. You have players retire and leave the league. You have players regress and progress. You go to re-sign players and all of that. Like, you have to manage the team, right? Tony Banks, he was with the team for quite some time. Can we do better? Yes. But we don't need to keep Quinn. Can we just submit that? Not to say that we want to keep Tony Banks, but, you know, whatever. I don't think we care. Right? I like Warren Norris as a 49ers fan. I can also see why he's gone. Like, as a Niners fan, I'd be sorry to see him go. And I know who he becomes, but let him go become that guy. Miller, I don't want to get locked in too big of a deal. Miller's situation is so weird, isn't it? There's not a lot of talent at the tight end position. Right? And he's not great, but he's still in the top tight ends, remember? Like, we go view rosters, so we go to tight ends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, he's in the top 15. He's in the top half of the league. He's 4 years pro. And I think he regressed. Yeah, he got one worse. So we're going to sign a big deal to him when he's getting worse? It's rough. This is a rough contract to deal with. And if we're being realistic, like, he wants the 4-year deal, right? Like, do you sign this kid to be 31 years old, but he's still one of the top tight ends in the league, and then you try to draft a replacement and not right away? You need weapons for your quarterback. I think you just have to throw money at him, but you don't want to cripple your team. It's one of those. That's one of the beauty things about franchise was having to make those tough decisions and where you go with it, right? Yeah. That's another one. 4 years pro, 26 years old. Keep him till he's 30 and he's only a 78 overall. Are you going to lock him up for 4 years to be a 78 overall? Or do you save money, right? That's another one of those big question marks. Gary Walker, you've got to try to keep. He only wants 3 years, great. But you can't keep everyone. We're dipping to 26 mil, right? And then it's like these players. 86 strength and a 3-4 defense. But he's a 60 overall. You sign him up till he's 30 years old? Seth Payne got worse. Like, you've got Hill right there. Like, these are the interesting things. And we're not saving this right now, but these are the interesting questions. I'm too tired to truly save it. But it makes you ask the questions, right? Glenn, 10 years pro, 32 years old, 895 overall. It was like pulling teeth. We took the offer you wanted. So hold out at the free safety position? Is that what it is? Or he wants to renegotiate? This is the holdout. Renegotiate. Now we're at 20 mil. Like, we've got... Like, this is our depth. Like, are these, like, great players to write home about? No, but this is our depth. Right? Can we replace all of those players in a combination of free agency and the draft? No, it's too many. But how many do we not give a shit about and just let them hit free agency and we just see what free agent bidding looks like? Those are the kinds of questions that come up too. But that's part of the fun of, like, doing these simulations. Is seeing what the market looks like from year to year. To see what the market values are. To see what the player pool looks like. Just to be knowledgeable of the mechanics of the video game. Not trying to, like, spam it, but just learning what the mechanics are. Yeah, and this is where we talked about in another video how in real life, free agency happens before the draft. but it's nice in the video game to have the draft and know who you've taken versus who you want to throw money at, and then have free agency. But in real life, also, you like deal with your free agents and then you pick best player available. So it kind of sucks. It's like, oh, we just picked up like 2 wide receivers, and then the pick in the draft is a wide receiver, and it's like we're gonna say no because we just spent money on, right? Because now we're looking at literally Johnson and Bradford like as young players, young talent. Not that you don't want to draft a wide receiver, but you're not drafting a guy to be a third rounder. Sorry, not Bradford. You've got Gaffney and Johnson as the young guys. Right? Like, did you just sign a 4-year deal just to take a tight end number 1 overall, right? Like, tackles go number 1 overall, and age 32 that is not having a bad shoulder surgery and is actually playing, do you still draft his backup, or do you get him and you paid him money? Like, this team has a lot of question marks. Right? We need to protect our quarterback. There's a lot of question marks. And so, here's also rookie scouting. If we go to all... where is League News, Draft Info, Order? We're going 14. So, does this game really think that 2 strong safeties are going to be the top picks in the draft? Is this the top 5? Like, I don't think so. So, do we just look at literally this rank right here? What information do we have to go off of? We've got tackling with no interview. Hands, whatever. We have no other information. So we know nothing about these guys. We've got 2 aging corners. 5'10", 6 foot. Florida State and Notre Dame, 22 years old. Bad and below average. Below average is still better. Balanced, both balanced corners. Like, there isn't offensive line here on the list. There's a right tackle, so we're probably going to look at that. Run blocking is amazing. Pass blocking is great. Like, most likely a pick. We'll let defensive line go. So what are we looking at? 290 with great tackling, 6'3". Both 290 kids. Great and good. One's called balance, one's called run stuffing. This one's 6'7", 290. And this is a 274. That's not really our style. A defensive tackle, 308 at 6'2". Good tackling, balanced defensive tackle. Hands bad, balanced outside linebacker. We're not going quarterback. We could definitely go with some guards. Right, I can already hear Denny going, like, I don't want to scout anyone that doesn't say amazing at something in the first round. And yeah, I got it. I agree. I'm just kind of like burning some scouting reports to see what difference it makes of who we did scout and who we didn't scout. Who we did and didn't scout, right? Run power is great. 6'1", 23 years old. 24 years old. Ugh, out of Oregon. We don't know their 40 time. I don't even want to look at halfbacks without at least knowing something about them. Their run power is considered great. Another wide receiver? No. A future amazing? Yeah. Great, good, no. And then now we're looking at first, second round. Like, there's no reason to scout the other players. So let's just advance. I know we can burn more points. But what do we learn about this player versus one that we didn't learn anything about, right? We get The tackling, we get the 40 shuttle cone. We get the bench vertical interview. Yeah, we get the interview even when we don't scout them, right? And the good and terrible. So they unlock everything. We just get like a free round of looking at stuff blindly, right? Shows no hesitation when tackling, exploding behind his hits. What does that mean? Look at the bench press. It's 10. Exploding behind hits. There's no hit power. There's no, like in the 360 version, that scouting note doesn't mean a damn thing. It's meaningless. Right? So I don't think the future scouts, like, that matters at all. I think we just go to NFL draft. It didn't have any trading at all. We don't have speed. No comments right now. Okay. We're in the draft. All available. What do you want, Asuka? I mean, I know it doesn't matter, but these are the positions. The rest are considered first seconds. We're in the top half of the draft. Draft recap. All. I'm willing to bet because guys we scouted, I'm willing to bet the right tackle. I'm willing to bet this guy, the right tackle, is a guy that we scouted and went to the Steelers. And I'm willing to bet this is the amazing whatever left tackle. Because you see, in tackles, I don't have anyone scouted. So we missed both of them, right? Madden 08 had issues with way too much pick swapping. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't just 08. I think it was 06, 7, and 8. But yeah, way too much pick swapping. Absolutely. So as far as trying to protect David Carr, the top positions at tackles are gone. We're really weak at strong safety. We've got veteran corners, so we don't need a corner right now to help our team overall. A linebacker is fine, but again, I've got Denny's voice in my head saying, like, he doesn't even have an amazing skill, right? Of these positions, does anyone even have the word amazing? Yes, at least one guy does, and that's a guard. With an average interview. He's the only one with an amazing in anything. And if we look at first to second round picks, does anyone strike me with... I'm just looking at interview. Great is so far the highest. No one has an amazing interview. So, does anyone have an amazing interview? Like, even for later rounds. The highest rating I'm seeing for interview is the word great. I'm not seeing the word amazing. This also tells you you're not, like, holding out for a better interview, right? There's not, like, an amazing interview sitting out there with lower other abilities. Right? So great is the highest interview that we really have. So knowing that great is the highest interview you can even look at, how does that narrow things down as far as the choices go? Wide receiver. Well, even if we just cut it to this, right? Above average, good, average, great. So you're looking at a cornerback with a great interview. He's bad at tackling. He's 5'10". He's got speed, a good vertical. I thought you already did that. Didn't we do that?
No.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock. It's not so bad. Okay. Yeah. Let's back out. Hit no. Yeah, I need to go to bed. Wife has got a very valid point. I need to help her out. And, basically, I think it's an interesting draft. The rookie scouting is a waste of time. I'm just trying to sum up here. The rookie scouting is a waste of time because you get all the information even without scouting them. I don't think, and I'm willing to bet that, based on my previous experience, that rookie scouting is not going to change that information. You're not going to get like in NCAA 6, 7, 8, or at least 7, 8, whatever, where you can actually scout the prospects and then you realize that their speed or other numbers are not what they originally reported as. This game doesn't seem to like lie to you about that. So there's no real point other than mark in yellow that this is a player you were interested enough to click on. Hey, remember the guy that you clicked on? It seems to be what they're looking at. But it seems like you can have a formula of what you're looking for at a position, and you generally want to follow the big board because they're generally marked by that. And I guess the other thing to check out really fast before I close it up is I do want to go in and I want to see, do they give you an end of round review, because I don't think they do. Same Super Bowl. Falcons win again. Come on, let's get through it. Okay, off-season schedule. Let the computer sign it. I don't really care who you sign as my special teams coach. Sorry, but I just don't. Schedule retired players, yes. Resign players is where we're going to save at. Because it didn't matter. That's the thing that I liked about Madden 03 is it gave you a breakdown on who was actually taken in each round. And that's what I want to look at, see here. Is do they? I don't think they're going to give you a breakdown at all. I think they're going to be all question marks until you sign them. Right? I think they're going to be all question marks until you sign them. Which is fine. I like hiding what they are so you know you're not just going to cut the player. You actually have to sign them to their rookie contract. But in real life, the CBA, at least right now, it's like the way it is. So, whatever. If we say all available players and we pick a guy with, again, is there any amazing? No, there isn't. So, someone with a great interview. Yes, there's a great interview. Wow, he doesn't have any information. Interesting. He's got great interview and amazing tackling as a defensive tackle, and they cheered for us, and we don't know how we did. Okay? So that's great. Yes, I know more. This is the thing I was looking for. Do they tell us the overall? No, they don't. So we're kind of drafting blind, and we don't know if we missed out on anyone. Which is also a good thing because then you're not cheating, because then you can save and see who the best players were and then reload and then get the best player and then draft and then reload and get the best player every single time. So at least you can avoid that. There's still ways to cheat this. There's still ways to play 32 team or whatever and then draft all the players and then write them down and then redraft them how you want them. There's ways of cheating, but I mean, just normally, no. So, yeah. I'm going to help my wife and I'm going to go to bed. Thank you so much. And oh yeah, Usuka says, can't wait to see more of the Madden 04 and get a Packers roster list started. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. And yeah, it's all test stuff right now. Thank you for watching. Glad to have you here. See you next time.